Welcome to DBL. It's Thursday, December 9th. I'm Tori. I'm here with Al, Erica, and Lindsay, and I just dropped my sugar packet into my coffee.
Oh, why do I feel like we're in a tunnel?
I know. Why do I hear a weird tunnel? Is it weird?
A little bit.
Okay, we're good? We're not good.
Is your mic on?
Okay. Yeah, it's here.
Erica, you take this.
We're good. All right, Josh, we need to get to this story. Josh Duggar was found guilty this morning. He was on trial for 2 charges of possessing and receiving child pornography. And feds raided his office at a car dealership back in November and took his computer. His iPhone and MacBook were also taken from an RV. Prosecutors claim they found some images of minors below the age of 12. Wow, let that sink in. Josh faces 20 years in jail on each of the 2 charges and a $250,000 fine. This news is like a huge boulder that just dropped. Erica, what do you think?
Is it?
I mean, I was like, we all knew something was wrong.
I mean, the rocks have been sliding for quite some time.
Yeah.
You know, this really irritates me. He's a father of what, 6?
Yeah, I believe 6 or 7 kids.
He's been aided and abetted this entire time. This is such a sensitive topic for me because when you see what's actually happening in people's homes, when you see what's happening and having child welfare having to intervene, most of the things that are happening within the confines of one's own home, within the confines of one's own family. This person has been absolutely abetted in doing the most egregious thing to our most vulnerable populations.
Yeah.
Things like this are the reason why people don't come forward with their trauma. It's the reason why people are too scared to speak out on what's happening when they are being, like when a predator is after them. You have children all over this world who are unsafe in their own homes because they are with pedophiles.
Yeah.
I know people get very upset about this. If you're upset that I'm saying this, I'm talking to you. Because there are people right now who know that their children are being taken advantage of by members of their family, by their little boyfriends, by their girlfriends, and they do nothing about it. What does that say about you? What does that say about our society? Like, we need to open this up fully. I understand why people get so upset about people telling their stories. Because if I knew that someone in my family was egregious enough to do this same thing, I would probably be feeling a little sensitive about the fact that I'm harboring them as well.
Yeah.
So let's get real.
I agree. And might I add, well said, TLC, I just want to know, I'd love to hear a statement from what you knew at this point. You were in their house for years and years and years. I'm not suggesting anything. I'd just like to hear a statement. Meantime, there's some dramatic new video that was shown yesterday at another trial in Minnesota. Kim Potter has been charged with manslaughter in the shooting death of Daunte Wright back in April. Now, the video shows the moments leading up to the shooting when Kim grabs her gun instead of her taser and then shows Daunte driving away after he was shot. Now, the officer collapses on the ground shouting, "I shot him, I shot him, oh my God." She's got her hands on her head and she's screaming and crying. Very disturbing video. What do we think about this video? Do you believe her, Linz?
No, I mean, I'm watching that video and she's crying. The video that stuck out more to me was to see the mother, Katie, crying. She was crying because she knew that she ran to the scene and was caught, luckily, because of social media and because of his girlfriend or friend in the car. We know that she'll never hug her son again. That is the emotional testimony to me. Kim Potter saying she reached for her taser and got it mistaken with her gun when the weight is different, the look is different.
The sides are different.
She's 26 years veteran in the police force. I'm actually just disgusted by it. I understand that she has to say her defense and she has to try to protect her name and her life and try to avoid going to jail. But to me, I just want to see cops just admit fault. I'm not saying that all cops are bad. There are good cops, but just to watch this happen, you pulled out your gun immediately because that's what you do to young black boys, okay? And her mom her mom was devastated. I mean, his mom was devastated when she ran out there. You see the video of her. To me, that's the part that struck to me, not the cop crying. Like, I don't have any, I feel no way about her crying, saying that she made a mistake and killed somebody. A mistake is like, oh, I dropped something, I broke your phone. A mistake is not, oh my God, I killed your son.
Well, first of all, these are getting harder and harder to watch because the boys are looking more and more like my sons. You know, they're about my size, my height now. And, you know, I look at this and Lindsay, if I can find any silver lining in this, and it's hard, it's that her, the officer that was with her testified against her. And we haven't seen that with that thin blue line. So that is a step. And what he was saying was his hands were on this young man as the bullet hit. So he was under the police control. And this is why when people go, well, why do we have to eliminate traffic stops? It's because of this. Because traffic stops are used to pull over young black folks, people that they think that they can throw in jail. They want to stop them, see if they can smell marijuana or whatever, the old license, whatever, nonsense. But this is what happens when you involve a nonsense stop, I almost said something else, and somebody with a gun. Eventually, that combination is going to lead to be somebody without their son for the rest of their life for an expired tag. So if this is, again, we always ask, if this is the society we want, this is what it looks like. I don't know if I like this. I don't think most people do. So if we don't, let's figure this out, because this whole, like, I thought I was reaching for my gun. I thought he was reaching for a gun. I was defending the nonsense excuses. You got to say something. Yeah. But everyone's tired of it. We're tired of looking at this footage. Fix it, police, because this is why people don't trust you.
And they're using the excuse that Dante should have not ran away. And I understand that the law is to actually stop when a police says stop, but that doesn't mean he needed to die. So as I hear that,
we have a big problem with meth in this country, Lindsay. I assume some of those people are runners as well. Mm-hmm. We don't see them killed.
Erica, thoughts? No.
I mean, it's frustrating.
I've heard no lies detected.
Yeah.
I mean, what? It's like, you know.
Do you think anyone in this country, because of that video, will see it differently? Does this give her any sense of empathy for anyone? Or are you guys just like, this is, I don't care. I don't want to spend another second thinking about this. Is that sort of where you are?
I think we have a very small percentage of a movable middle, people who are willing to be flexible in their thought. So regardless of what the circumstances are, they're going to feel the way that they're going to feel. Sure. For one reason or another. So, I mean, it's like, you know, we're in season 5.
Yeah.
How many of these have we covered? How many of them haven't we been able to cover?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like,
yeah.
And it's part of the reason I think, like, over maternity leave, I really stepped back, and it wasn't just because of, it was because I didn't want to hear about the news, and I didn't care. And my mom was like, you know, why are you not cheering that Ahmaud Arbery's killers are? And I'm like, I just don't want to be part of that, because it breaks my heart to just be reliving this. And we have so many positive moments at our job. We're able to cover so much good news, but it also sucks that it was constantly like on the forefront all year last year. I just wanted 3 months to just not talk about that.
I think we all did, and
I'm glad that you got that.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, I'm so glad that you got that. Like, it is traumatic, and I feel guilty for saying it's traumatic because I'm not in those families. Knock on wood, you know, like. But I realize how close all of this is. Like, it feels like the circle comes closer and closer. There is no break for us. We do not get a break. I'm glad that you were able to bring life into this world. I'm glad that you were able to spend those precious moments and that time and not have to think about anything else. Like, that is my hope for everybody who has really been going through it, because this isn't something that we ever get to take a break from, and that sucks. It just does.
We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
Something with a capsule and a mic.
And I have a booster seat, so if you guys want to make jokes on me. Yeah, no, really, look.
It looks really.
I think I got shorter after I had the baby. I don't know if that happens to a lot of people. I know your feet grow.
I just think we should all have this. But yeah, Lindsay,
Just to go off and on, because I knew I wasn't.
Over the time that I was gone, a lot of things happened. You know, a lot of trials went different ways. And with Ahmaud Arbery, we actually saw a silver lining, right? We got some type of positive verdict for once, which never really happens. And my mom was like, you know, you ran for Ahmaud, you did the whole video, say something, you know, go do a video. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm so happy that his family has a little bit of justice. I would be happier if Ahmaud was alive. Right. And I just don't want to be entrenched in it right now. I'm able to take this rare break. I'm just going to take it. And so it's just hard, like you said, because you can. That's our job to know what's going on every day.
You hit on the head. Maybe you have to take the breaks where you find them. And for me, mine is in the morning. Like, I feel like I'm probably maybe a little less prepared to speak about things politically, but I don't take an hour and a half before I come in here and talk to listen to negative stuff. Like, I spend that hour listening to music that reminds me of good things, you know?
And you know what? That's probably a better Al that we get on the panel because of it.
I also think that this is probably, like, I feel like we're a part of a generation where I don't see myself doing this for 30, 40 years. Like, not like this. I mean, when you think about people like Barbara Walters or, you know, like that was like a long standing, but you could actually stop down and move on with your life. Like, you aren't living that. We live this. That's like that's a burnout effect.
Absolutely.
It's different.
Absolutely.
However, you're celebrating Make DBL a part of your holiday cheer.
What's up, homie?
I can tell she was feeling something, I tell.
Erica blushed for Alfonso Ribeiro.
Would you have been cooking naked?
Cooking.
Yes, on our last show.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Am I right? Say yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I got chills.
Me too.
Clearly.
DBL is always all new every day.
Welcome back to DBL. We do a lot here, so we're going to take a big turn here. We just want to acknowledge it to a topic that's dividing the internet. Some social media critics are taking aim at certain Christmas movies, suggesting they should be canceled. The New York Post came up with a list. Let's take a look and see what you think. First up, It's a Wonderful Life. Some people are saying Jimmy Stewart's character, George Bailey, was emotionally abusive, manipulative, and also a misogynist. Others are calling it out for its lack of diversity.
Yeah, when was that made?
I think that's all we need to say on that one. Next up is The Holiday. People are taking aim at both male leads for their, quote, toxic masculinity. First, they say Jude Law's character is a womanizer who hurts women just by being himself. What a line. Then they say Jack Black's character makes moves on an emotionally vulnerable Kate Winslet and is basically a sociopath.
Somebody really took the time out, broke this down.
You guys, who hurt this author?
I know, that's what I said.
What is going on? Okay, next up is the Santa Claus. Come on. Critics are slamming it for being fat-phobic and containing several fat jokes, which don't hold up in today's world.
See, I completely do. I think this movie should be held up as a shining example.
Body positivity.
He had a huge weight gain, and he went and saw his doctor. That is what you should do if you are a person that cares about your health.
Okay.
That's exactly. He did the right thing.
That's right.
That's a
Get a
thought.
bigger T-shirt. But
You're
yes.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Finally, there's this Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad's very iconic Christmas classic jingle, All the Way. Now, critics are slamming this movie for its relentless focus on consumerism.
Oh my gosh.
I have a theory I just want to ask you guys. I think this is making the people that are interested in like elevating the culture, it's making us look bad. And I think people are trying to do this so it dilutes our whole message. This is ridiculous, clearly, right? We all can agree, or does anyone disagree?
I'm putting my foot down.
Yeah.
I'm not hearing this. Okay,
Right.
Netflix has 20 movies a week on Christmas. Amazon Prime has 10. HBO has 3 or 4. Like, you don't have to watch these. You don't have to dig into the 1910 archives and find an old movie to watch. You actually can watch something from 2021 that is probably forward thinking.
Or watch something and know that what climate it's from. It's just
I mean,
odd.
in certain movies when they apologize for being racist, like naming the crow in a cartoon Jim Crow is one thing. But come on.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Like,
I think
movies.
They're doing it on purpose to make us look bad. I think that's what this is. They're trying to
Who's
make
they, though?
The other side of the woke culture is like make them all think everything's bad, then they'll think they're stupid. This makes us look weak when we're trying to just evolve the culture.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that we had a very serious conversation in our last segment. So I'm going to take this time during the holidays to decompress and not think about everything that's wrong with the world. In fact, I'm going to pretend like everything's okay.
What do you always say? PMA. Positive mental attitude.
There you go. And also, as somebody that has kids, I'll tell you that are like, my kids rewatch like The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. They do go back and get certain things from the 90s, so the things that won't be canceled are the things that the kids of this generation like. The other things that they don't like will just naturally go away, so it'll take care of itself.
Also, as the parent, just have a conversation like, you don't have to go down like that. You don't have to date this type of person and call it a day, or don't watch the movie.
Yeah, or don't watch the movie. All right, always watch us. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt. You have to hear why Kyle thought about skipping Paris Hilton's wedding. Stay tuned.
posts circulate online, we verify to make sure that we have accurate information, and that is especially important when it comes to politics. Like this tweet, posted by Fox News contributor Leo Terrell. He wrote, "President Trump, I've done some legal research. The Speaker of the House does not have to be a member of Congress. Therefore, when the Republicans take over the House in November 2022, you should become Speaker." And this is not the first time we've heard this claim. In October, a Verify viewer named Alvin asked us the same question. So let's verify, can a non-House member, like President Trump, become Speaker of the House? Here are sources. Online resources from the Office of the Historian and the Clerk of the House. This report from the Congressional Research Service. And Casey Burgat from the George Washington University. We also looked to Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution. And let's start there. The line in question reads as follows. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers. It says nothing about whether the Speaker needs to be a member of the House.
It literally could be anybody.
Our GW expert tells us that the Speaker has always been a House member, but it doesn't have to be. In fact, there have been protest votes before for people like Joe Biden, Colin Powell, Stacey Abrams, and many others.
This has never been tested to the point where someone has won that nomination where then we have to have this debate. But as it stands right now, because it hasn't been disproven, then the House will choose its own Speaker and other officers. A baby's on the table, former President Trump's on the table, potentially a non-citizen themselves is on the table. It's the Wild West.
So we could verify that yes, a non-House member can be named House Speaker, whether it's Donald Trump, Barack Obama, you, me, or anyone else, although historically, it always has been a member of the House. Reporting here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
You know, it's always a good thing when the stars of our favorite shows, Real Housewives and Breaking Bad, come together to make a Christmas movie. Earlier, we sat down with Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt to talk all things you really want to know. So check it out.
Kyle and Betsy, welcome to DBL. Now, you play best friends in the Housewives of the North Pole, which is surprisingly not a reality show, but a movie. So before we get to the movie, Kyle, your sister Kathy recently chatted with us about Paris's wedding, and we gotta know, how was it and how late did you party?
Good question.
It was a lot of fun. It was 3 days in a row. I was exhausted by the end, but it was beautiful and it was heartfelt and so sweet. And she was just true to herself and, you know, reading her vows. She was funny and adorable, and it was beautiful.
That was a downplay.
Yeah, that was.
I know.
Well, I was so exhausted. I was like, 3 days. You gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna have to skip one of these things. But my family was not having any of that.
Now, Betsy, people know you best, obviously, from playing Marie in Breaking Bad. What's the hardest scene of that show for you to go back and watch?
I can't watch Hank get shot or die. Just can't do it. And I get that it's pretend, like I'm aware, but I swear to God, my blood pressure goes up when I see it. And I know it's going to happen, but it just I live it and it affects me.
I am a huge Housewives fan, as I mentioned before we got started.
Shine.
After party!
This is insane.
Fans are really excited to see you on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, where you were open about your struggles with body image. So can you tell us more about that?
I think for me, it really stemmed from I was, you know, I grew up with two sisters that were like super skinny and blonde, and I was always like brunette and then fuller. I had, you know, big chest, young and bigger back booty, whatever you want to call it. And it wasn't the style then. I was looking at Charlie's Angels and they were all like, you know, like my sisters were. And it was always what I struggled with. I worked out all the time and, you know, I was dieting and, you know, I was like, why am I not looking like these girls? So I do talk about it and I laugh about it, but I didn't used to talk about it because I didn't want to draw attention to it because I didn't want my daughters to hear me talk like that, even though it was my truth, because I hid it from them because I never wanted them to have those issues, and thankfully they don't. So,
you know, I have to tell you that when I saw you in Greece with Erica and you were taking those pictures, I was really proud of you in that moment because I could feel where you were coming from. So that storyline, and it's not a storyline, I know it's your life, but I thought that was important for us all to see.
Well, let's get something else.
Thank you.
Speaking of important, Betsy, let's get to this movie. You star with Kyle and the dog. in the Housewives of the North Pole.
That's me barking.
Sorry, my dog. I know.
We have to just. What's the dog's name? Tell us. Let's talk.
His name is Lando Calrissian.
Really? Star Wars fan.
Yes. About the movie.
That made my day. Now you star Betsy. You star with Kyle in the Housewives of the North Pole.
You were cheating, Mrs. Rivera? Hi, girls. Look at those great outfits. Got any cookies? Door deliveries are over.
What would your housewife tagline be?
Oh my gosh.
We
Okay.
knew that was coming, Betsy.
No, you did. You told me. I have to tell you, I have to be honest. Like, to me, like, Kyle is just like a really wonderful human and a fantastic actor. I am not versed in Housewives, so I was like, what do you mean tagline? And she's like, someone's going to ask you that. My tagline would be, watch this movie. Watch our Christmas movie and tell everybody you know to watch it and love it. And
But
don't
then you
be a
gotta
jerk
throw
at
in an
Christmas.
or else. Well, by the way, the movie has its own great little tagline. You know, it says, two best friends, only one queen of Christmas, and you're looking at her. How about that?
Oh.
Right here.
There you
Right
go.
here.
I just gave you a tagline, Betsy. You're welcome.
Right here. Yeah.
That's a great place to end. Ladies, thank you so much. DBL Nation,
guys are great.
The Housewives of the North Pole is streaming now on Peacock. Thanks so much, Kyle and Betsy. You guys were a pleasure.
Thank you.
Shout out to Lando.
Shout out to Lando. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Plenty of questions have come out of the more than 2,000-page infrastructure bill. One THV11 Verify viewer asked, is it true there is some sort of driving tax or fee that you'll have to pay each year based on your vehicle's mileage and how much you've driven that year included in President Biden's Build Back Better plan? This claim and similar ones have made their rounds all over social media. So let's verify. Our sources, the bill itself, Michelle Nellenbach from the Bipartisan Policy, and Scott Hardin with the Arkansas Department of Finance and Administration. Under Section 13,002, it states the National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee pilot program is completely voluntary. The first objective of the program is to test the design, acceptance, implementation, and financial sustainability of a National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee.
So instead of paying at the pump for a gallon, you would pay based on the amount of miles you put on your car. And so the provisions in the bill are to allow folks to opt into a pilot program, an experiment, basically, to see how it would work.
Scott Hardin with DFA confirms their motor vehicle team has also not received any outreach from the federal government requesting they plan implementation of a mileage-based fee. He goes on to say any move to create a nationwide fee based on mileage would have to be established through new, separate legislation. We would certainly alert Arkansans if we received any indication this is a possibility. So we can verify this claim is false. This pilot program is included in President Biden's infrastructure bill, but it's totally voluntary, so there is not a requirement to pay a mileage fee. The only way to create a nationwide mileage tax would be to pass a new bill.
It's not unusual for current and former presidents to wish supporters a happy holiday season. But an online postcard that shows former President Donald Trump in a tuxedo is raising a lot of eyebrows on social media. The card, which we're blurring because of its explicit nature, was retweeted thousands of times, including by some prominent people who are verified on Twitter. So let's verify. Is the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump real? Our sources are Getty Images, Photo Forensics, and the official Donald Trump merchandise store. The former president is selling holiday merchandise on his website, and his Save America website links to this card, which is not the card that's going viral. No one within the Trump organization has shared the doctored card, and his spokesperson confirmed to PolitiFact it was fake. So, no, the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump is not real. Verify traced the original image back to 2019, when former President Trump met Queen Elizabeth. An analysis using photo forensic software showed the former president's tuxedo was edited to make part of the explicit imagery. Many of those who shared the card have since deleted their post. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
if you're anything like me, there's still people to shop for and gifts to buy. Am I right? Yes. Right. Yes. People responded. Luckily, our friends at Morning Save have us covered. Check out the deal Steph showed us earlier.
All right, what do you have for us today, Steph? So first up, we've got the Kybal CyboVac E30 robot vacuum cleaner. So this deal includes one robot cleaner, and you can even set up a cleaning schedule in the convenient app. Okay, so normally it's $280, but we've got it for only $129, which saves you guys 54%. Tori, everyone needs one of these. We've got the All-Tech Lansing portable Bluetooth speaker. So this deal includes one of these lovely speakers and a leather carrying case for travel. Now, this is normally $100. It's only $19 for
19?
us, which saves you guys 81%.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie.
Now, we've got the Vanity Planet Clarisonic toothbrush with a UV sanitizer. The deal includes one toothbrush with this sanitizing station, and it also has 6 toothbrush heads. So normally this is $98, but right now, Tori, it's only $39, which gives you no excuses because you're saving 60% on getting those pearly white sparkling. And then last, but certainly not least, oh, I think this is so good. We've got the Caloric Wine Lovers Bottle Opener Preserver Set. So it includes one opener, one preserver, a foil cutter, 2 rubber stoppers, and a drip-free wine pourer. So normally this is as much as $100, but we've got it for only $39.
Oh, that's love.
Saving up to 61%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. It could not be easier, y'all. Thank you so much, Steph. Awesome products. I do want to get Kelly Cooper wrote us in and says, yeah, Erica, it's why I avoid the news. And I do think if you're someone like me who can tend to doom scroll, where you just scroll and scroll, take a break.
Right.
Take a break. Just breathe and go out into nature.
Yeah.
Go look at the sun.
I don't know about look directly into the sun.
Don't look directly
but do anything.
into the sun, but look around it, okay?
Right.
Get the point.
I'm trying to be helpful.
We give you helpful tips here.
Okay, we'll see you
Stare at
tomorrow.
the sun.
Bye,
Have a
guys.
good day.
The sun. Bye.
Mariah Carey's hit single, All I Want for Christmas Is You, was certified diamond by the Recording Industry Association of America, making it the first holiday single to earn the distinction. Carey's Christmas hit usually begins making its way up the music charts around late October, according to Last.fm listenership data from the past 3 years. But does that mean that the holiday hit gets the most plays on streaming apps during the Christmas season? Verify reached out to these sources to get an answer, and drum roll please, it's true. All I Want for Christmas Is You is the most streamed holiday song according to music streaming app data from Apple Music, Amazon Music, Billboard, Pandora, and Spotify. According to Amazon Music, global streams on their app for this song are up 46% in 2021 when compared to this time last year. It's also one of the most requested holiday songs on Amazon Music via Alexa so far this year. According to Spotify data, the song tops its Christmas hits list and is the most popular song on Carey's artist profile with nearly 1 billion streams overall. It's also my all-time favorite Christmas song, and I may or may not dance around the table to it every year with my family. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariane Till.
Here's what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
New video shows an officer collapsing after mistaking her gun for her taser, killing a man. How will the jury react to the deadly mistake? Do Christmas classics hold up in today's woke culture? Why some Christmas movies are being canceled for their toxic storylines? When a person of color goes missing, why is there no media frenzy? We're speaking with a woman who is pushing these important cases into the spotlight. She joins us live. And from Real Housewives and Breaking Bad, Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt stopped by DBL to spread some holiday cheer.
It says 2 best friends, only 1 queen of Christmas, and you're looking at her. How about that?
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
No.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll. Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, December 9th. I am Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica. So I know a lot of our viewers have already written in regard to Josh Duggar because he was found guilty this morning. He was on trial for 2 charges of possessing and receiving child pornography. Feds raided his office at a car dealership back in November and took his computer. His iPhone and MacBook were also taken from an RV. Prosecutors claim they found some images of minors below the age of 12. Josh faces 20 years in jail on each of the 2 charges and a $250,000 fine. Erica, you're shaking your head. What are you thinking?
I think that, you know, there are a lot of people who are culpable when it comes to aiding and abetting this man. He was given a platform, he was amplified, and, you know, it really speaks to me about why so many people stay quiet about especially their acute childhood trauma. Survivors speak up and they're vilified. When children speak up, they're told that they don't understand what they're saying.
Yep.
Children understand what they're saying, and it really bothers me a lot because so many people are so vocal about making sure that this population who has been traumatized and preyed upon aren't heard. The reason why people feel this way, and I know I'm going to offend some people, that's very intentional because I'm talking to you. When you have people in your own families, it's very difficult to say, this is wrong and we need to help protect our most vulnerable population when you know that your dad, your grandfather, your uncle, your little boyfriend, even your sister, whoever it is doing this in your own home. Yeah, it is really hard. I understand that I've touched a nerve, but these children are our most vulnerable population. They need to be protected. And if you aren't going to do that protection, then get out of the way of those who are. This should have been stopped years ago.
15 years ago.
How many victims would not be victims had anyone spoken up and said, there is something that's not right here? You see something, you say something. How do you look at a 5-year-old?
Thank you.
A 5-year-old and know that someone is preying on them, and you can tell because they are displaying the behavior. If your 5-year-old is displaying overtly sexual behavior, you need to be asking questions. Where did you learn this?
Right.
It's the craziest thing to me.
And I just want to provide context because what Erica's saying, to those of you who think he's just being convicted or charged on these child pornography charges, what Erica is alluding to, or clearly speaking to, thank you for that, Erica, is way back in 2002, 2003. If you look at 2015 police reports, which I did when I covered this way back with CNN, there are details, confessions of his sisters, of a victim under 5, of a babysitter, of family members, of his parents, of himself confessing to these molestation charges. Well, guess what? He never really got justice because what had happened, the statute of limitations in Arkansas had ran up. So what did his father and mom do? Oh, they sent him to a ministry. And nothing against ministries. Let me tell you, my faith is very important to me, but this is slapping your faith right in the face when you send him under the guise of God to go get healed instead of being locked up behind bars to save other victims. To your point, Erica, he is a monster and he deserves to be behind bars for the rest of his damn life. Wow, that got really...
I'm glad you guys are passionate.
Speaking for all of us.
It's a good thing.
Okay. All right. So there is some more dramatic video that was shown yesterday at another trial in Minnesota. Kim Potter has been charged with manslaughter in the shooting death of Daunte Wright back in April. We covered that story, you guys remember. The video shows the moments leading up to the shooting when Kim grabs her gun instead of her taser and then shows Daunte driving away after he was shot. The officer then collapsed on the ground shouting, "I shot him, oh my God." She's got her hands on her head and she's screaming and crying. Does this new video, Al, make any difference to you in regard to the loss of Daunte?
Absolutely not. You know, what did make a difference to me was the testimony of the officer that was with her. And he said he went against what she said, which we have not seen a lot of. There usually is a blue wall of silence, and not in this case. The officer said he was in my possession, like I was touching him when the bullet hit. So this young man was being contained for a reason that didn't look like it needed to be. But Sam, this is what happens when you have guns involved with nonsense traffic stops. We've seen certain legislations brought up saying that we're going to stop with these traffic stops. It would be nice if we could just do them without having to worry about people's lives at stake. But we have another young man that will never hug his mom again. A young man that looks just like my son, around the same size as my son, around the same size as the kids I used to teach. These young people are being killed for what? It was in the middle of the day. He wasn't doing anything. We're talking about paperwork, some kind of old tag. But this is what happens when you just start harassing your citizens, Jeff. This young man, you could have given him a ticket. You don't have to pull people over. When you can run the license plate, if it's old, send the ticket to his house.
That's what they're...
Why are you pulling people over and then drawing a firearm? What could he have done?
Listen, I don't want to take this out of context because I don't want to put this young man down or his family or any way. This is why, and again, this is going to be sensitive when I say this, I want to put money back into the police. People want to defund the police. I say that, let me explain, because I want training done, okay? I know it doesn't even matter. If you watch a fight, okay, if you watch fighters, I'm a fan of the UFC, those guys are concussed and they still know how to put people in moves. They still know what to do because their training takes over when they're in a violent situation. If you are trained and you have to every year update that training and be retrained, when it comes to minor situations like traffic stops, you are not reaching for a taser or a gun. You are trained in what to do. And taking money out of the police department and not have money for these fundings, I think, my personal opinion, is a problem because we are not going to get the proper training that these police officers need.
But I think the scary thing is she completed training for her taser, I believe.
In March, weeks before.
Obviously,
she's 26 years.
Obviously, the training was not up to standard.
I think
because she made a mistake.
Yeah, I think we also are not having a conversation about how much of our tax dollars are actually already allocated to police departments. If you want to do a reallocation, which essentially is, it's semantics here, we're talking about defund the police. That's semantics because we're talking about reallocating funds. You're talking about, like, if there's a police department and they have militarized, which is what the problem is. A lot of people feel that the issue is police are over militarized as opposed to protecting and serving. If you want to reallocate the funds within the police department for added training, that's one thing. I think when you said defund the police and then your point, it doesn't really jive because it's all reallocating funds, whether it's reallocating funds to go to other support systems or it's reallocating funds of how the police actually use the dollars that they have. My big thing is we see this video. Some people are going to feel a lot of sympathy towards this officer like it was a mistake. First of all, you don't get to make life and death mistakes. And secondly, the video that really gets me is of Daunte Wright's mother. So if we're going to have a very emotional, this is moments after her son was shot. That's the emotion that I care about. I care about his mother, his family, all of those who see themselves in him. That's where my sympathy goes, not towards Kim Potter.
I just look at that and I'm like, why were there, what could have possibly happened where there were that many police officers there for this young man that had an expired tag? Like, what could have possibly been going on in a country awash in drugs, in a country awash in illegal opioids, in a country where sex predators just wander and have television shows that are on the air for decades?
Right.
why did that situation require 4 officers when there are situations that require hundreds of officers and they get none?
Right.
I just don't understand. And for this woman to have felt as empowered enough that even though he was already under another officer's control, she needed to, best case scenario, hit him directly in the chest with a taser?
Right.
Which could also kill him? Like, what could somebody be doing where we needed this much containment for a 20-year-old kid that couldn't have weighed 160 pounds? I just don't understand it, and would like some explanation. And we never hear anything from the police. It's a tragedy, and we move on. But his family, his mother, will never move on from sitting on that tree lawn right there.
Thank you for showing that video. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
That's great. It's written in there, so that's
All right.
perfect.
Well, obviously, we were talking about police stops, and I always.
So I love that you brought up really quickly, not to cut you off. I just want our viewers to know, because as constituents, we can support this type of legislation, depending on which county, which city, which state you live in. But Al was talking about how different. What would it be? Like your local not your chamber of commerce, but your local. Who would help put forth the new legislation? So before I get to that part, and Al can answer that, this is what the legislation would be. So if you have expired tags, a police officer can run those tags, right? Don't have to pull you over. They know exactly where you live by running those by your license plate, and then you get a fine in the mail. That's it. You get a ticket, you get a fine, nobody gets pulled over, nobody's life can be at stake. How would you bring that to fruition?
I think that you can convince the public by, I told you, I have one of my best friends in the world, his brother, that's all I'm saying. His brother is a police officer, and I talked to him a lot about these situations. And I am empathetic because I know him and I love him. And he's like, his brother, who's a cool guy, was like, we are scared too because, and I mentioned, I mentioned this a couple weeks ago because he's like, we arrest these people that we know have 2 or 3 strikes, and we know that they're back out there. So this is, you can sell this to the public like, if you are Blue Lives Matter, this helps them.
But who do you go to is my question. Do you go to like is it like a senator type thing that you want to support?
It would start, I assume it would start locally, but I think.
Like your police chief?
I wish, I don't feel comfortable enough even speaking on like how you start a law.
I know.
I don't know.
I know like my friend Martine, who is former mayor but now sits on the city council. So maybe you bring it up to city council because the city council can help enact it with your local police chief. So maybe that's how you start.
I think people can affect a lot of change locally, and I'm not even privy to that as well. So like, I got a lot to learn as well. But yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. So we're going to take a big turn here, okay, to a much lighter topic that is dividing the internet. Surprise, surprise. Some social media critics are taking aim at a certain Christmas movie, or actually multiple Christmas movies, suggesting they should be canceled. The New York Post came up with a list. Let's take a look. Let's see what you think. First up is It's a Wonderful Life. Some people are saying Jimmy Stewart's character, George Bailey, was emotionally abusive, manipulative, and also a misogynist. Others are calling it out for its lack of diversity.
I find that shocking. But it isn't like the point if somebody is a misogynist and emotionally abusive to watch them grow throughout the movie and learn a lesson? I think if you said that about any character, you would say all those things and then say this pivotal moment of the movie happened, and then they're a better person for it.
I don't know if it always ends up that way, Al.
No?
No.
That's the whole point.
No, it's not the whole point, because you have to consider what year was this movie made.
1947.
And that was very normalized.
Yeah.
So yeah, we look at it through 2021 lenses and we're like, well, what were y'all thinking? But we can say that about just about everything.
And I would question anybody that's watching movies from the late 40s looking for diversity. diversity. I think that's more on you than the movie.
Next up is The Holiday. People are taking aim at both male leads for their toxic masculinity. First, they say Jude Law's character is a womanizer who hurts women just by being himself. Then they say Jack Black's character makes moves on an emotionally vulnerable Kate Winslet and is basically, Jeff, a sociopath.
I love this movie.
Do you really? I've never seen it, yeah.
You edit from my last clip, put that at the end. Listen, we have many more examples.
Yes.
This is poking fun at like woke culture. They're going overboard to make it seem a little bit crazy.
I agree.
It's poking fun.
What are you looking at?
I'm not, well, I don't want to interrupt her.
Well,
go
no,
ahead.
I
Tell
take
me.
issue with this one, actually, because there's a lot of assumptions being made about Kate Winslet's character being emotionally vulnerable and that she was taken advantage of. She was going through a tough time. Sometimes you get your groove back in different ways, and Jack Black just happened to be there. She could have been having a very empowering moment. I think that was misogynistic.
See?
Okay, and then I'll save my comment for the end. Next up is The Santa Claus. Critics are slamming it for being fat-phobic and containing several fat jokes which don't hold up in today's world.
I'm here for it.
Okay, so
I'm
you
here.
like the fat jokes.
I don't. No, not. I don't.
You said you're here for it.
I'm here for the fact that he set a great example. That he went under, he had a medical issue. He gained a lot of weight. He went to his doctor, which is what you would want anybody that you care about to do. If somebody gained 50 pounds out of nowhere, you'd be like, hey, bro, go talk to somebody about that. He did it. I think he showed everybody the way to go.
Okay, we're going to do one more, and then let's discuss if they should be canceled. Finally, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, their Christmas classic, Jingle All the Way. Critics are slamming this movie for its relentless focus on consumerism. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Jeff, should this be canceled? I already know your answer, but let's hear it.
Okay, again, to my point, they're poking fun in my mind.
Okay.
But here's the problem. People have no discernment. They think this is real, and people right now are on Twitter saying, Jingle All the Way needs to be canceled. You're right, Bob, it does. And they're like forming their little groups on social media, and it's serious business, you know what I mean? They're really trying to get their name out there and pretending all this stuff, consumerism?
Yeah, I agree that it's ridiculous. I don't think anything should be canceled, but I know some of the movies can be seen problematically. And I know in the past when we've talked about Disney movies being overtly racist or prejudiced or anti-Semitic, there's a disclaimer. Do you think it's important on some of those scenes to have disclaimers?
I think that people watching understand. I mean, with Home Alone, I think people know that they can't set up that
if you're 13?
booby trap.
A booby trap's a lot different than perhaps making fun of a marginalized group
But
of
that's
people.
discernment.
A 13-year-old might not have that discernment.
You'd be surprised.
Okay. All right, coming up on DBL, our hilarious interview with Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt. The two have teamed up for a new movie, and we have your first look.
When posts circulate online, we verify to make sure that we have accurate information, and that is especially important when it comes to politics. Like this tweet, posted by Fox News contributor Leo Terrell. He wrote, President Trump, I've done some legal research. The Speaker of the House does not have to be a member of Congress. Therefore, when the Republicans take over the House in November 2022, you should become Speaker. And this is not the first time we've heard this claim. In October, a Verify viewer named Alvin asked us the same question. So let's verify, can a non-House member, like President Trump, become Speaker of the House? Here are sources. Online resources from the Office of the Historian and the Clerk of the House. This report from the Congressional Research Service. And Casey Burgat from the George Washington University. We also looked to Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution. And let's start there. The line in question reads as follows. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers. It says nothing about whether the Speaker needs to be a member of the House.
It literally could be anybody.
Our GW expert tells us that the Speaker has always been a House member, but it doesn't have to be. In fact, there have been protest votes before for people like Joe Biden, Colin Powell, Stacey Abrams, and many others.
This has never been tested to the point where someone has won that nomination where then we have to have this debate. But as it stands right now, because it hasn't been disproven, then the House will choose its own speaker and other officers. A baby's on the table. Former President Trump's on the table. Potentially a non-citizen themselves is on the table. It's the Wild West.
So we could verify that yes, a non-House member can be named House Speaker, whether it's Donald Trump, Barack Obama, you, me, or anyone else. Although historically, it always has been a member of the House. Reporting here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
Hey, it's always a good thing when the stars of our favorite shows, Real Housewives and Breaking Bad, come together to make a Christmas movie. Earlier, we sat down with Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt to talk all things you want to know. Check it out.
Kyle and Betsy, welcome to DBL. Now, you play best friends in the Housewives of the North Pole, which is surprisingly not a reality show, but a movie. So before we get to the movie, Kyle, your sister Kathy recently chatted with us about Paris's wedding, and we gotta know, how was it and how late did you party?
Good question.
It was a lot of fun. It was 3 days in a row. I was exhausted by the end, but it was beautiful and it was heartfelt and so sweet. And she was just true to herself and, you know, reading her vows. She was funny and adorable, and it was beautiful.
That was a downplay.
Yeah, that
I know.
I was so exhausted. I was like, 3 days? You gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna have to skip one of these things. But my family was not having any of that.
Now, Betsy, people know you best, obviously, from playing Marie in Breaking Bad. What's the hardest scene of that show for you to go back and watch?
I can't watch Hank get shot or die. Just can't do it. And I get that it's pretend, like I'm aware, but I swear to God, my blood pressure goes up when I see it. And I know it's gonna happen, but it just I live it and it affects me.
I am a huge Housewives fan, as I mentioned before we got started.
Shine.
After party!
This is insane.
Fans are really excited to see you on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, where you were open about your struggles with body image. So can you tell us more about that?
I think for me, it really stemmed from, I was, you know, I grew up with two sisters that were like super skinny and blonde. And I was always like brunette and a fuller. I had, you know, big chest, young and bigger back booty, whatever you want to call it. And it wasn't the style then. I was looking at Charlie's Angels and they were all like, you know, like my sisters were. And it was always what I struggled with. I worked out all the time and, you know, I was dieting and, you know, I was like, why am I not looking like these girls? So I do talk about it and I laugh about it, but I didn't used to talk about it because I didn't want to draw attention to it because I didn't want my daughters to hear me talk like that, even though it was my truth, because I hid it from them because I never wanted them to have those issues, and thankfully they don't. So,
you know, I have to tell you that when I saw you in Greece with Erica and you were taking those pictures, I was really proud of you in that moment because I could feel where you were coming from. So that storyline, and it's not a storyline, I know it's your life, but I thought that was important for us all to see.
Well, let's get to something else.
Thank you.
Speaking of important, Betsy, let's get to this movie. You star with Kyle and the dog. In the Housewives of the North Pole.
That's me barking.
Sorry, my dog. I know.
We have to what's the dog's name? Tell us. Let's talk.
His name is Lando Calrissian.
Really? Star Wars fan.
Yes. The movie.
That made my day. Now you star Betsy. You star with Kyle in the Housewives of the North Pole.
You were cheating, Mrs. Rivera? Hi, girls. Look at those great outfits. Got any cookies? Door deliveries are over.
What would your housewife tagline be?
Oh my gosh.
We
Okay.
knew that was coming, Betsy.
No, you did. You told me. I have to tell you, I have to be honest. Like, to me, like, Kyle is just like a really wonderful human and a fantastic actor. I am not versed in Housewives, so I was like, what do you mean tagline? And she's like, someone's going to ask you that. My tagline would be, watch this movie, watch our Christmas movie, and tell everybody you know to watch it and love it, and
but
don't
then you
be a
gotta
jerk
throw
at
in an
Christmas.
or else. Well, by the way, the movie has its own great little tagline. You know, it says, two best friends, only one queen of Christmas, and you're looking at her. How about that?
Oh.
Right here.
There you
Right
go.
here.
I just gave you a tagline, Betsy. You're welcome.
Right here. Yeah.
That's a great place to end. Ladies, thank you so much. DBL Nation,
You guys are great.
The Housewives of the North Pole is streaming now on Peacock. Thanks so much, Kyle and Betsy. You guys were a pleasure.
Thank you.
Shout out to Lando.
Shout out to Lando. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Plenty of questions have come out of the more than 2,000-page infrastructure bill. One THV11 Verify viewer asked, is it true there is some sort of driving tax or fee that you'll have to pay each year based on your vehicle's mileage and how much you've driven that year, included in President Biden's Build Back Better plan? This claim and similar ones have made their rounds all over social media. So let's verify. Our sources: the bill itself, Michelle Nellenbach from the Bipartisan Policy, and Scott Hardin with the Arkansas Department of Finance and Administration. Under Section 13,002, it states the National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee Pilot Program is completely voluntary. The first objective of the program is to test the design, acceptance, implementation, and financial sustainability of a National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee.
So instead of paying at the pump for a gallon, you would pay based on the amount of miles you put on your car. And so the provisions in the bill are to allow folks to opt into a pilot program, an experiment, basically, to see how it would work.
Scott Hardin with DFA confirms their motor vehicle team has also not received any outreach from the federal government requesting they plan implementation of a mileage-based fee. He goes on to say any move to create a nationwide fee based on mileage would have to be established through new, separate legislation. We would certainly alert Arkansans if we received any indication this is a possibility. So we can verify this claim is false. This pilot program is included in President Biden's infrastructure bill, but it's totally voluntary, so there is not a requirement to pay a mileage fee. The only way to create a nationwide mileage tax would be to pass a new bill.
It's not unusual for current and former presidents to wish supporters a happy holiday season. But an online postcard that shows former President Donald Trump in a tuxedo is raising a lot of eyebrows on social media. The card, which we're blurring because of its explicit nature, was retweeted thousands of times, including by some prominent people who are verified on Twitter. So let's verify. Is the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump real? Our sources are Getty Images, Photo Forensics, and the official Donald Trump merchandise store. The former president is selling holiday merchandise on his website, and his Save America website links to this card, which is not the card that's going viral. No one within the Trump organization has shared the doctored card, and his spokesperson confirmed to PolitiFact it was fake. So, no, the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump is not real. Verify traced the original image back to 2019, when former President Trump met Queen Elizabeth. An analysis using photo forensic software showed the former president's tuxedo was edited to make part of the explicit imagery. Many of those who shared the card have since deleted their post. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
There's so much more DBL ahead. Stay with us.
Mariah Carey's hit single, All I Want for Christmas Is You, was certified diamond by the Recording Industry Association of America, making it the first holiday single to earn the distinction. Carey's Christmas hit usually begins making its way up the music charts around late October, according to Last.fm listenership data from the past 3 years. But does that mean that the holiday hit gets the most plays on streaming apps during the Christmas season? Verify reached out to these sources to get an answer, and drum roll please, it's true. All I Want for Christmas Is You is the most streamed holiday song according to music streaming app data from Apple Music, Amazon Music, Billboard, Pandora, and Spotify. According to Amazon Music, global streams on their app for this song are up 46% in 2021 when compared to this time last year. It's also one of the most requested holiday songs on Amazon Music via Alexa so far this year. According to Spotify data, the song tops its Christmas hits list and is the most popular song on Carey's artist profile with nearly 1 billion streams overall. It's also my all-time favorite Christmas song, and I may or may not dance around the table to it every year with my family. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariane Till.
is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff, Al, and Erica. So the wait is over. The new Sex and the City series dropped today on HBO Max. SJP attended the premiere in New York City with her husband, Matthew Broderick, and 19-year-old son, James Wilk. Now, we are not giving away any major spoilers, okay? But we will say that Samantha is very much alive. Yes, she is. We do learn the fate of another major character, though. And as far as the reviews, well, they're mixed. The Washington Post is calling it, quote, bloated, laugh-free comedy about grief, while The Independent said it was so good, Kim Cattrall must be kicking herself for not being a part of it. Wow. Do you think the series can capture the magic of the original?
I don't think that's the point of the series. From the way that it's shot to how they've chosen to represent themselves, I think that this is just the dawn of a new day. But in terms of the juxtaposition between those very polar opposite reviews, I think it really depends on your relationship with the franchise. Most of us who saw the first movie were very, like, it's still very difficult for me to watch that because Big leaves Carrie at the altar. Spoiler alert, but y'all should have found that out like 15 years ago. You know, like that whole thing, watching her go through that trauma and stuff, was that a joyful thing? No, but were we willing to engage in that? Yes, because we were willing to engage in it like they were a friend, you know, like there's gonna be good times and bad times.
Yeah, listen, it's all about nostalgia, right? Could you even trust a review anymore?
No.
Have you ever read a review and you're like, yeah, probably this guy's right?
Amazon. If somebody leaves a video review, like when I bought my bike, that's the only one I look at. I look
Maybe
at
Amazon,
but not movie because they're so
movie
subjective.
Review, yeah.
And Erica said something just now.
You never look at reviews before you tune into a series?
Never.
Never? Oh,
because
I do.
that's not me, but it's like, you know, Erica said something just now that made me think about Jeff because Erica, you said it's about your relationship with the franchise, and I started thinking about you with Entourage.
Same thing.
And there's one of two ways. You could be like, Entourage is my popcorn at the end of the day. I like to watch it. So I don't want to see the last movie where like somebody dies and the main character gets cancer and somebody's kid. You're like, that's not what I watched the show for. But somebody could watch Entourage and be like, I relate to these people, and just like in real life, sometimes people die and sometimes people's kids get sick. So it's like, how do you look at this franchise for you? So like, if this was Entourage, how do you want to see it wrap up?
Well, Entourage they came out with a movie, right? This is the woman's version of Entourage, Sex and the City. It wasn't the heart of like Entourage, right? It's the same characters. They're doing different things. They're growing up. I have a feeling this might be similar. I don't know. It just dropped today.
Are you going to watch it?
No. Yeah, but, you know.
Will Jordan?
No.
No, she's not. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow and enjoy.
Okay. Jennifer Aniston and her ex, Justin Theroux, got cozy on the set of the Facts of Life recreation. Justin posted this pic with Jen on Instagram. Justin was a producer for the live in front of a studio audience episode. Jen is also on the cover of The Hollywood Reporter, where she talked about dealing with pregnancy rumors in the tabloids and how they said she chose her career over kids. She called the comments, quote, really hurtful and just nasty. Wow, how hurtful is that? What did you think about Jen opening up like this?
I think it's very real. Any woman of a certain age, you know, I'm 40, I don't have kids, I talk about it very openly. You know, people have feelings about that. I'm not sure why, because I'm pretty sure if I had kids, nobody'd be offering to babysit. But, you know,
I babysit, girl.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, you know, put some stake, you know, stock in this game if you're gonna talk about it. But no, you know, it's like, it's such a personal choice, and it's so weird to still be having this conversation in this day and age. But it's like, you know, we all make decisions. And for me, it's a very calculated decision. Could I have decided to be a mom earlier? I absolutely could have. I didn't make that decision for a reason. So if I never get to become a mom, then that was the calculated risk that I took. I don't know how Jennifer Aniston feels about it. I don't know if there were medical issues. You know why I don't know? Because it's none of my damn business.
Right. Right.
So until we have the conversation about why people feel so comfortable just jumping on in folks' uteruses.
And what's wrong with not wanting to have kids? It could be medical. It could be that she took a career risk, or it could be the fact that she just doesn't want to have kids. And for some reason, that is correlated in this day and age as being selfish. And that is not fair, and that is not okay.
But it's not about being fair. It's about being able to attack women for any choice that they make. And it's very simple. We've seen this since women started working. You're going to have, it can go one of three ways. You decide not to have kids, which is a decision you make. You have maybe the most successful career any female actress has ever had, in Jennifer Aniston. You get criticized. You decide to get pregnant halfway through your career. We sat here, what was the woman's name? She was on Dancing with the Stars, and she got pregnant, and she said
Samantha Harris.
Samantha Harris. Right. And she said people were calling for her job in real time. Or you can decide to have kids, not pursue your career at that time, and people will say, oh, you're just a stay-at-home mom, you just iron and change diapers, nice job there. So what are your options as a woman? Your option is to get attacked.
Right.
And it's not fair. I hope that dynamic changes because it's ridiculous. And I want to see it change. And I'm sure you've seen it with your wife. She's still young, ambitious, but she loves her boys. It's this duality of thought. And it's
job.
Impossible.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, hardest job in the world. There is no right time to have children.
Right.
You know what I mean? So don't tell somebody when their right time is.
Yeah.
So,
right.
You know,
Well, we're all in agreement on that one. Dax Shepard revealed in the past he was bothered over the fact that his wife made more money than him. Speaking to Ellen Pompeo on her podcast, Dax said some people on social media would call him out for not making as much as Kristen Bell. Listen.
Or people say snide on Instagram, like somehow my wife pays for everything. That shouldn't bother me at all. I know how much I make. It's a lot. Yet 2 days later, I'll be hearing that tweet in my head.
Really?
Because that's an emasculating, that person said that to emasculate me.
Oh, it's nice to, it's nice not to hear that, but it's nice to hear we were just focusing so much on how women get the short end of the stick, but we forget that men face their own battles too. Have you ever had to deal with this when Jordan won Big Brother?
no, it's not a battle.
But did people go after you?
No. Here, we were talking in the break, and then I just found out that people think birds are government spies.
Well, no, that's a whole
that's a real thing.
But my point to this is, here's my point. These people think birds are government spies. Then they go on and write Dax Shepard. Then they write into this show or Jeopardy, and they change the host of the show, or they talk to me about what I said on the show. People are insane. And they're writing, and we're like, what are your thoughts on that? There is no such thing. If my wife made more than me, I would be so excited about it. I wouldn't feel emasculated. If I was at home doing nothing and lazy and I didn't work out and I ate chips all day and I played video games, I'd feel some type of way about myself. If I'm out there grinding, trying my best, and my wife happened to do better, we're a team.
I will
it has
say
nothing
this,
to do with
Jeff.
that.
Let me say this: we know men. We know a lot of guys. You're telling me if two guys got into it,
good point.
There wouldn't be there'd be a guy that would take a shot at another guy if his wife made more money. Yeah. Like after a couple drinks, I know some people that would be like, hey, well,
they're not secure with themselves.
Absolutely,
though.
I agree. But I'm just saying, like, people will take shots.
That dynamic needs to change too.
Yes, but I'm telling you, there are people that
Does that person believe in government birds?
Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe in them.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Coming up on DBL, we will introduce you to a very important guest putting missing people of color into the spotlight. This is a very important story. Do not go anywhere.
Closed captioning provided by
why don't we hear about these cases, a story that affected her the most, examples of how exposure has helped a case, and how we can change the statistics in these cases. There is a call to action full screen.
Awesome.
And then
At the end?
At the end, and then Sammy will throw to a clip and we'll bump out with the clip.
What made her start this? I mean, despite the fact that there's no media attention, but was it a personal story?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm going to call Megan.
Okay,
and I
I'm
can
just
tell you
curious
in
if.
your ear.
Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will say this. Oh yeah, I'll say this about the Black and Missing docuseries is I feel like this is one of the things that we've seen in real time go from like these cases aren't being covered to like our show started covering missing black people, and now there's a doc. So like we are seeing that, like if you start talking about these things, like yes, they're missing white people that need to be found, but there's also a lot of missing people of color that need to be found.
Right.
And I think a lot of times people just need to say it out loud and be like, yeah, why aren't we doing something?
There is a
and people are
disparity.
doing something now.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It's better than we were, I would say,
Right.
a year ago,
Yes.
because I never
Yes.
even knew of this being a
not
thing.
like her
Like
child or
there
anything.
being no coverage
Right.
of
Okay.
missing,
Thank you.
not only just black folks. There was I saw this one about this
What about
Asian woman.
natives?
And,
Are you kidding
oh,
me?
I saw
It's so sad if you really dig deep into. There's a film called Road to Paloma that digs deep into. It's a scripted film with Jason Momoa, and it digs deep in how there's a loophole on a lot of native Indian reservations where the missing people, because it's the local police departments there, don't have the same resources, and so there will be predators that
absolutely
directly go to these places to commit their acts because they know that there is less resources to lock them
And when you
up.
say less,
and different
less resources, you're talking about maybe 2 cops for 900
and
square
different
miles.
jurisdictions, and it is disgusting.
There's a documentary
Yes.
called Blackfeet Boxing, and it's a man that taught young Native women to box because it's such a problem to defend.
Be careful, okay?
Okay. I won't fall with the carpet.
African Americans remain missing 4 times longer than white Americans. That number is alarming. We hear from families all the time, the police is turning us away, the media wouldn't respond.
Wow, a new documentary is shedding light on the shocking disparity involving missing people of color. All last month, DBL featured some of those cases, but there is one organization pushing these cases to the mainstream. Please welcome to the show, Natalie Wilson, co-founder of the Black and Missing Foundation. Natalie, welcome to DBL. You know, I have so much respect for you, and you really are doing God's work, trying to provide a service and shedding light to these cases. Why don't we hear about these cases, in your words?
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for having me.
Thank
and
you.
The feedback that we're getting from families is that the cases aren't taken seriously. I'll give you an example. When our children, minority children, are reported missing, oftentimes they're classified by law enforcement as a runaway. So if you don't, if you're classified as a runaway, you don't get the Amber Alert. You definitely don't get any media coverage at all. And adults are often stereotyped as being involved with some type of criminal activity, or that type of deviant behavior is what happens in those communities. And their lives in these cases, again, just aren't taken seriously.
Thank you for being here. Your organization has helped nearly 400 families get closure. And to be clear, some of those endings were not happy ones. Is there one story that really stands out to you or that has affected you the most?
Well, all of the cases really are so important to us, but I think the catalyst or the inspiration behind the organization is Tamika Houston, who went missing from Spartanburg, South Carolina. And we read how her family, her aunt, who's in my profession, public relations, really struggled to get media coverage, national media coverage. And Natalie Holloway disappeared a year later. Wow. And we all know her name, we know her face. So, you know, it's just disheartening. And our goal is to be advocates for these families, to help them get the assistance from law enforcement and the media coverage needed.
So Natalie, when it comes to solving these cases, you say exposure is the most important thing. Al and I were just talking about that in the break. Can you give us a specific example of how the media has helped a case?
Okay, well, most recently, there was a child, a 1-year-old, that was missing from Maryland. And on social media, we shared her profile. Someone saw her on a subway in New York.
Wow.
And contacted law enforcement, and she was able to be rescued. And a couple of years ago, we had a case where we got national coverage. The family was on The View. We were able to take the family on The View. And within 14 minutes of that show airing, we received a tip that led us directly to the young girl who was missing. And within an hour, she was reunited with her family. So that shows the real power of media and why it's needed.
Wow.
Right. And as you're talking, it just reminds me that somebody always knows something. It seems like this world is this vast situation with strangers, but everybody kind of knows something. You see a girl that kind of seems out of place at the store and you remember and you call the cops, but people need to know that this is happening in order for this to happen. So I really appreciate what you're doing. And also I wanted to ask you, how do you help families navigate just the sheer heartbreak with these cases?
Well, we ask families to give up, not to give up. To hold on to hope, because sometimes they don't know what to do, and we help them with media coverage, navigating the process with law enforcement, and just to hold on just another day. They know that we are working alongside them, and we're doing everything that we can to help them find their missing loved one.
That's bad.
Natalie, something stuck out to me when you were speaking, that the idea of the information, the media not taking these cases seriously, police not taking these cases seriously, and the fact that we are the most connected that we have ever been in the history of the world. So even when you get something that scrolls across your feed about a missing person, sharing it on your stories can help and change that. So how else do we change the statistics in these cases?
Well, first, awareness is key. We can no longer turn a blind eye because it's not happening to you or your family. It could be any one of us that could be missing. Our mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, valuable members of our community. So what we need our community and law enforcement and the media to do is like these profiles, help them to go viral and share it within the network. We know that we can't get media coverage for every case, but we say less is more. So less of one particular person or race. Let's even the playing field and show more cases, because these families desperately are searching for their missing loved one, and they deserve answers or closure.
Yes, they do. Natalie, thank God for you. To our viewers out there, to get involved, visit the website blackandmissinginc.com. You can literally save someone's life. Natalie, we really appreciate you. Thank you for joining us here at DBL and creating change. Before we go to break, we want to show a couple of active cases. If anyone watching has information, please contact Natalie and her organization.
Thank you.
When posts circulate online, we verify to make sure that we have accurate information, and that is especially important when it comes to politics. Like this tweet, posted by Fox News contributor Leo Terrell. He wrote, "President Trump, I've done some legal research. The Speaker of the House does not have to be a member of Congress. Therefore, when the Republicans take over the House in November 2022, you should become Speaker." And this is not the first time we've heard this claim. In October, a Verify viewer named Alvin asked us the same question. So let's verify, can a non-House member, like President Trump, become Speaker of the House? Here are sources. Online resources from the Office of the Historian and the Clerk of the House. This report from the Congressional Research Service. And Casey Burgat from the George Washington University. We also looked to Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution. And let's start there. The line in question reads as follows. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers. It says nothing about whether the Speaker needs to be a member of the House.
It literally could be anybody.
Our GW expert tells us that the Speaker has always been a House member, but it doesn't have to be. In fact, there have been protest votes before for people like Joe Biden, Colin Powell, Stacey Abrams, and many others.
This has never been tested to the point where someone has won that nomination, where then we have to have this debate. But as it stands right now, because it hasn't been disproven, then the House will choose its own Speaker and other officers. A baby's on the table. Former President Trump's on the table. Potentially a non-citizen themselves is on the table. It's the Wild West.
So we could verify that yes, a non-House member can be named House Speaker, whether it's Donald Trump, Barack Obama, you, me, or anyone else. Although historically, it always has been a member of the House. Reporting here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
Welcome back. If you're anything like me, there are still people to shop for and gifts to buy. Luckily, our friends at Morning Save have us covered. So check out the deals Steph showed Tori earlier. All right, what do you have for us today, Steph?
Hey, Tori, I've got some wonderful products and even better deals, and I can't wait to share them with you. So first up, we've got the Kybol Cybovac E30 Robot Vacuum Cleaner. What? So this deal includes one robot cleaner. How snazzy is this? It's got a smart navigation system, so it'll map out your floors before it cleans them, which is super efficient.
Whoa.
It's got a 2.5 hour of cleaning in just one charge, and you can even set up a cleaning schedule in the convenient app. It's also compatible with Alexa and Google Assistant, so I mean, talk about easy chores. And we all know that robot vacuums are pricey, but our friends at Morning Save got this incredible price just for you, DBL Nation.
Ooh.
Are you ready to hear
Yes.
this? Okay, so normally it's $280, but we've got it for only $129, which saves you guys 54%.
Alexa, clean up my mess and my savings.
Yes, how awesome is this going to be if you've got a Christmas tree and the pine needles keep dropping, you can just go around it and you just don't have to do anything.
Brilliant idea.
Tori, everyone needs one of these. We've got the Alltech Lensing portable Bluetooth speaker. So this deal includes one of these lovely speakers and a leather carrying case for travel. So you can take music anywhere you go, and it delivers a really powerful sound from this little compact unit that's weather resistant.
Nice.
So you can play it indoors or outdoors. Now, this is normally $100. It's only $19.
19?
Which saves you guys 81%.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie.
And this next item is going to have you smiling way more. We've got the Vanity Planet Clarisonic toothbrush with a UV sanitizer. And not only that, it's got 6 brush heads.
I like that.
I know. So the deal includes one toothbrush with this sanitizing station, and it also has 6 toothbrush heads. So this toothbrush is a multitasking master, just like you. Oh, Tori, it's got everything you need. It's got a digital dental spa giving you freshness with 4 brushing modes and a timer to ensure you're brushing for the dentist recommended amount of time.
Smart.
So normally this is $98, but right now, Tori, it's only $39, which gives you no excuses because you're saving 60% on getting those pearly white sparkling.
That's and remember, going to the dentist is $8 million, so this is really good pricing.
Oh, this
Very
is going to keep your teeth in check, your mouth fresh, and gum disease is no joke, so this is a good buy.
Nice.
And then last, but certainly not least, oh, I think this is so good. We've got the Caloric Wine Lovers Bottle Opener Preserver Set. So it includes one opener, one preserver, a foil cutter, 2 rubber stoppers, and a drip-free wine pourer. So wine lovers, you've met your match because this set will uncork and it will reseal your wine bottles in seconds. So the opener will effortlessly extract the cork from the bottle at the touch of a button.
Wow.
And then the preserver vacuum seals your open bottles that you've not finished to prevent oxidation to keep the wine fresh.
Wow.
So normally this is as much as $100,
Yeah,
but we've got it for only $39.
Oh, that's lovely.
Saving up to 61%.
Guys, this is great for your foodies, your gourmands, anybody who loves to have an after day drink or night drink. This is brilliant.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh, great pricing. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. It could not be easier, y'all. Thank you so much, Steph. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Plenty of questions have come out of the more than 2,000-page infrastructure bill. One THV11 Verify viewer asked, is it true there is some sort of driving tax or fee that you'll have to pay each year based on your vehicle's mileage and how much you've driven that year included in President Biden's Build Back Better plan? This claim and similar ones have made their rounds all over social media. So let's verify. Our sources, the bill itself, Michelle Nellenbach from the Bipartisan Policy, and Scott Hardin with the Arkansas Department of Finance and Administration. Under Section 13,002, it states the National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee pilot program is completely voluntary. The first objective of the program is to test the design, acceptance, implementation, and financial sustainability of a National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee.
So instead of paying at the pump for a gallon, you would pay based on the amount of miles you put on your car. And so the provisions in the bill are to allow folks to opt into a pilot program, an experiment, basically, to see how it would work.
Scott Hardin with DFA confirms their motor vehicle team has also not received any outreach from the federal government requesting they plan implementation of a mileage-based fee. He goes on to say any move to create a nationwide fee based on mileage would have to be established through new, separate legislation. We would certainly alert Arkansans if we received any indication this is a possibility. So we can verify this claim is false. This pilot program is included in President Biden's infrastructure bill, but it's totally voluntary, so there is not a requirement to pay a mileage fee. The only way to create a nationwide mileage tax would be to pass a new bill.
It's not unusual for current and former presidents to wish supporters a happy holiday season. But an online postcard that shows former President Donald Trump in a tuxedo is raising a lot of eyebrows on social media. The card, which we're blurring because of its explicit nature, was retweeted thousands of times, including by some prominent people who are verified on Twitter. So let's verify. Is the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump real? Our sources are Getty Images, Photo Forensics, and the official Donald Trump merchandise store. The former president is selling holiday merchandise on his website, and his Save America website links to this card, which is not the card that's going viral. No one within the Trump organization has shared the doctored card, and his spokesperson confirmed to PolitiFact it was fake. So, no, the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump is not real. Verify traced the original image back to 2019, when former President Trump met Queen Elizabeth. An analysis using photo forensic software showed the former president's tuxedo was edited to make part of the explicit imagery. Many of those who shared the card have since deleted their post. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Erica, we got some comments.
Yes, it's about the Black and Missing Foundation. Serena says, I'm so glad this organization exists. And Marquita said, this is why I love DBL, for talking about cases like these.
Especially because Natalie, I asked our producers, you know, did something happen to one of her children or loved ones? And no, this is just somebody who empathetically wants to help. Yeah, and that just goes to show her service.
She's an awesome person, and you have to clarify because it's hard to believe somebody could be that great. She's that wonderful of a person.
Yes, she is. Go to that website. DBL's new every day. Bye, guys.
Mariah Carey's hit single, All I Want for Christmas Is You, was certified diamond by the Recording Industry Association of America, making it the first holiday single to earn the distinction. Carey's Christmas hit usually begins making its way up the music charts around late October, according to Last.fm listenership data from the past 3 years. But does that mean that the holiday hit gets the most plays on streaming apps during the Christmas season? Verify reached out to these sources to get an answer, and drum roll please, it's true. All I Want for Christmas Is You is the most streamed holiday song according to music streaming app data from Apple Music, Amazon Music, Billboard, Pandora, and Spotify. According to Amazon Music, global streams on their app for this song are up 46% in 2021 when compared to this time last year. It's also one of the most requested holiday songs on Amazon Music via Alexa so far this year. According to Spotify data, the song tops its Christmas hits list and is the most popular song on Carey's artist profile with nearly 1 billion streams overall. It's also my all-time favorite Christmas song, and I may or may not dance around the table to it every year with my family. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariane Till.
we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
New video shows an officer collapsing after mistaking her gun for her taser, killing a man. How will the jury react to the deadly mistake? Do Christmas classics hold up in today's woke culture? Why some Christmas movies are being canceled for their toxic storylines? When a person of color goes missing, why is there no media frenzy? We're speaking with a woman who is pushing these important cases into the spotlight. She joins us live. And from Real Housewives and Breaking Bad, Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt stopped by DBL to spread some holiday cheer.
It says, 2 best friends, only one queen of Christmas, and you're looking at her. How about that?
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just stop.
Finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, December 9th. I am Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica. So I know a lot of our viewers have already written in regard to Josh Duggar because he was found guilty this morning. He was on trial for 2 charges of possessing and receiving child pornography. Feds raided his office at a car dealership back in November and took his computer. His iPhone and MacBook were also taken from an RV. Prosecutors claim they found some images of minors below the age of 12. Josh faces 20 years in jail on each of the 2 charges and a $250,000 fine. Erica, you're shaking your head. What are you thinking?
I think that, you know, there are a lot of people who are culpable when it comes to aiding and abetting this man. He was given a platform, he was amplified, and, you know, it really speaks to me about why so many people stay quiet about their, especially their acute childhood trauma. Survivors speak up and they're vilified. When children speak up, they're told that they don't understand what they're saying.
Yep.
Children understand what they're saying, and it really bothers me a lot because so many people are so vocal about making sure that this population who has been traumatized and preyed upon aren't heard. The reason why people feel this way, and I know I'm going to offend some people, that's very intentional because I'm talking to you. When you have people in your own families, it's very difficult to say, this is wrong and we need to help protect our most vulnerable population. When you know that your dad, your grandfather, your uncle, your little boyfriend,
Family
even
friend.
your sister, whoever it is doing this in your own home. Yeah, it is really hard. I understand that I've touched a nerve, but these children are our most vulnerable population. They need to be protected. And if you aren't going to do that protection, then get out of the way of those who are. This should have been stopped years ago.
15 years ago.
How many victims would not be victims had anyone spoken up and said, there is something that's not right here? You see something, you say something. How do you look at a 5-year-old?
Thank you.
A 5-year-old and know that someone is preying on them, and you can tell because they are displaying the behavior. If your 5-year-old is displaying overtly sexual behavior, you need to be asking questions. Where did you learn this?
Right.
It's the craziest thing to me.
And I just want to provide context because what Erica's saying, to those of you who think he's just being convicted or charged on these child pornography charges, what Erica is alluding to, or clearly speaking to, thank you for that, Erica, is way back in 2002, 2003. If you look at 2015 police reports, which I did when I covered this way back with CNN, there are details, confessions of his sisters, of a victim under 5, of a babysitter, of family members, of his parents, of himself confessing to these molestation charges. Well, guess what? He never really got justice because what had happened, the statute of limitations in Arkansas had ran up. So what did his father and mom do? Oh, they sent him to a ministry. And nothing against ministries. Let me tell you, my faith is very important to me, but this is slapping your faith right in the face when you send him under the guise of God to go get healed instead of being locked up behind bars to save other victims. To your point, Erica, he is a monster and he deserves to be behind bars for the rest of his damn life. Wow, that got really...
I'm glad you guys are passionate.
Speaking for all of us.
It's a good thing.
Okay. All right. So there is some more dramatic video that was shown yesterday at another trial in Minnesota. Kim Potter has been charged with manslaughter and the shooting death of Daunte Wright back in April. We covered that story, you guys remember. The video shows the moments leading up to the shooting when Kim grabs her gun instead of her taser and then shows Daunte driving away after he was shot. The officer then collapsed on the ground shouting, "I shot him. Oh my God." She's got her hands on her head and she's screaming and crying. Does this new video, Al, make any difference to you in regard to the loss of Daunte?
Absolutely not. You know, what did make a difference to me was the testimony of the officer that was with her. And he said he went against what she said, which we have not seen a lot of. There usually is a blue wall of silence, and not in this case. The officer said he was in my possession, like I was touching him when the bullet hit. So this young man was being contained for a reason that didn't look like it needed to be. But Sam, this is what happens when you have guns involved with nonsense traffic stops. We've seen certain legislations brought up saying that we're going to stop with these traffic stops. It would be nice if we could just do them without having to worry about people's lives at stake. But we have another young man that will never hug his mom again. A young man that looks just like my son, around the same size as my son, around the same size as the kids I used to teach. These young people are being killed for what? It was in the middle of the day. He wasn't doing anything. We're talking about paperwork, some kind of old tag. But this is what happens when you just start harassing your citizens, Jeff. This young man, you could have given him a ticket. You don't have to pull people over. When you can run the license plate, if it's old, send the ticket to his house.
That's what they're...
Why are you pulling people over and then drawing a firearm? What could he have done?
Listen, I don't want to take this out of context because I don't want to put this young man down or his family or any way. This is why, and again, this is going to be sensitive when I say this, I want to put money back into the police. People want to defund the police. I say that, let me explain, because I want training done, okay? I know it doesn't even matter. If you watch a fight, okay, if you watch fighters, I'm a fan of the UFC, those guys are concussed and they still know how to put people in moves. They still know what to do because their training takes over when they're in a violent situation. If you are trained and you have to every year update that training and be retrained, when it comes to minor situations like traffic stops, you are not reaching for a taser or a gun. You are trained in what to do. And taking money out of the police department and not have money for these fundings, I think, my personal opinion, is a problem because we are not going to get the proper training that these police officers need.
But I think the scary thing is she had completed training for her taser, I believe.
In March, weeks before.
Obviously,
26 years.
Obviously, the training was not up to standard.
I think
because she made a mistake.
Yeah, I think we also are not having a conversation about how much of our tax dollars are actually already allocated to police departments. If you want to do a reallocation, which essentially is, it's semantics here, we're talking about defund the police. That's semantics because we're talking about reallocating funds. You're talking about, like, if there's a police department and they have militarized, which is what the problem is. A lot of people feel that the issue is police are over militarized as opposed to protecting and serving. If you want to reallocate the funds within the police department for added training, that's one thing. I think when you said defund the police and then your point, it doesn't really jive because it's all reallocating funds, whether it's reallocating funds to go to other support systems or it's reallocating funds of how the police actually use the dollars that they have. My big thing is we see this video. Some people are going to feel a lot of sympathy towards this officer like it was a mistake. First of all, you don't get to make life and death mistakes. And secondly, the video that really gets me is of Daunte Wright's mother. So if we're going to have a very emotional, this is moments after her son was shot. That's the emotion that I care about. I care about his mother, his family, all of those who see themselves in him. That's where my sympathy goes, not towards Kim Potter.
I just look at that and I'm like, why were there, what could have possibly happened where there were that many police officers there for this young man that had an expired tag? Like, what could have possibly been going on in a country awash in drugs, in a country awash in illegal opioids, in a country where sex predators just wander and have television shows that are on the air for decades?
Right.
why did that situation require 4 officers when there's situations that require hundreds of officers and they get none?
Right.
I just don't understand. And for this woman to have felt as empowered enough that even though he was already under another officer's control, she needed to best case scenario, hit him directly in the chest with a taser?
Right.
Which could also kill him? Like, what could somebody be doing where we needed this much containment for a 20-year-old kid that couldn't have weighed 160 pounds? I just don't understand it, and would like some explanation. And we never hear anything from the police. It's a tragedy, and we move on. But his family, his mother, will never move on from sitting on that tree lawn right there.
Thank you for showing that video. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by
That's great. It's written in there, so that's
All right.
perfect.
Well, obviously, we were talking about police stops, and I always...
So I love that you brought up really quickly, not to cut you off, I just want our viewers to know, because as constituents, we can support this type of legislation, depending on which county, which city, which state you live in. But Al was talking about how different, what would it be? Like your local, not your Chamber of Commerce, but your local, who would help put forth the new legislation? So before I get to that part, and Al can answer that, this is what the legislation would be. So if you have expired tags, a police officer can run those tags, right? Don't have to pull you over. They know exactly where you live by running those by your license plate, and then you get a fine in the mail. That's it. You get a ticket, you get a fine, nobody gets pulled over, nobody's life can be at stake. How would you bring that to fruition?
I
Do you
think
take
that
it
you
to,
can
like,
convince the public by, I told you, I have one of my best friends in the world, his brother, that's all I'm saying. His brother is a police officer, and I talked to him a lot
Right, you told
about
me
these
that.
situations. And I am empathetic because I know him and I love him. And he's like, his brother, who's a cool guy, was like, we are scared too
It puts
because,
them-
and
their
I mentioned,
lives-
I mentioned this a couple weeks ago because he's like, we arrest these people that we know have 2 or 3 strikes, and we know that they're back out there. So this is, you can sell this to the public like, if you are Blue Lives Matter, this helps them.
But who do you
This-
go to is my question. Do you go to like is it like a senator type thing that you want to support? Is
It would
your
start.
local
I assume
county
it would start
chief?
locally, but I think
Like your police chief?
I wish I don't feel comfortable enough even speaking on like how you start a law.
I know.
I don't know. how you
I
do
know
that.
like my friend Martine, who is former mayor but now sits on the city council. So maybe you bring it up to city council because the city council can help enact it with your local police chief. So maybe
true.
that's how
Yeah.
you start.
I think
but-
people can affect a lot of change locally, and
They
I'm not
can.
even
They can.
privy to that as well.
Yep.
So like,
Yep.
I got a lot to learn as well. But yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. So we're going to take a big turn here, okay, to a much lighter topic that is dividing the internet. Surprise, surprise. Some social media critics are taking aim at a certain Christmas movie, or actually multiple Christmas movies, suggesting they should be canceled. The New York Post came up with a list. Let's take a look. Let's see what you think. First up is It's a Wonderful Life. Some people are saying Jimmy Stewart's character, George Bailey, was emotionally abusive, manipulative, and also a misogynist. Others are calling it out for its lack of diversity.
I find that shocking. But it isn't like the point if somebody is a misogynist and emotionally abusive to watch them grow throughout the movie and learn a lesson? I think if you said that about any character, you would say all those things and then say this pivotal moment of the movie happened, and then they're a better person for it.
I don't know if it always ends up that way, Al.
No?
No.
That's the whole point.
No, it's not the whole point, because you have to consider what year was this movie made.
1947.
And that was very normalized.
Yeah.
So yeah, we look at it through 2021 lenses and we're like, well, what were y'all thinking? But we can say that about just about everything.
And I would question anybody that's watching movies from the late 40s looking for diversity. I think that's more on you than the movie.
Next up is The Holiday. People are taking aim at both male leads for their toxic masculinity. First, they say Jude Law's character is a woman womanizer who hurts women just by being himself. Then they say Jack Black's character makes moves on an emotionally vulnerable Kate Winslet and is basically Jeff a sociopath.
I love this movie.
Do you really? I've never seen it, yeah.
You edit from my last clip, put that at the end. Listen, we have many more examples.
Yes.
This is poking fun at like woke culture. They're going overboard to make it seem a little bit crazy.
I agree.
It's poking fun.
What are you looking at?
I'm not, well, I don't want to interrupt her.
Well, no,
ahead.
I
Tell
take
me.
issue with this one, actually, because there's a lot of assumptions being made about Kate Winslet's character being emotionally vulnerable and that she was taken advantage of. She was going through a tough time. Sometimes you get your groove back in different ways, and Jack Black just happened to be there. She could have been having a very empowering moment. I think that was misogynistic.
See?
Okay. And then I'll save my comment for the end. Next up is the Santa Claus. Critics are slamming it for being fat-phobic and containing several fat jokes which don't hold up in today's world.
I'm here for it.
Okay, so
I'm
you
here.
like the fat jokes.
I don't. No, not. I don't.
You said you're here for it.
No, I'm here for the fact that he set a great example. That he went under, like he had a medical issue. He gained a lot of weight. He went to his doctor, which is what you would want anybody that you care about to do. If somebody gained 50 pounds out of nowhere, you'd be like, hey, bro, go talk to somebody about that. He did it. I think he showed everybody the way to go.
Okay, we're gonna do one more and then let's discuss if they should be canceled. Finally, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, their Christmas classic, Jingle All the Way. Critics are slamming this movie for its relentless focus on consumerism. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Jeff, should this be canceled? I already know your answer, but let's hear it.
Okay, again, to my point, they're poking fun in my mind.
Okay.
But here's the problem. People have no discernment. They think this is real, and people right now are on Twitter saying, Jingle All the Way needs to be canceled. You're right, Bob, it does. And they're like forming their little groups on social media, and it's serious business, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're really trying to get their name out there and pretending all this stuff, consumerism?
Yeah, I agree that it's ridiculous. I don't think anything should be canceled, but I know some of the movies can be seen problematically. And I know in the past when we've talked about Disney movies being overtly racist or prejudiced or anti-Semitic, there's a disclaimer. Do you think it's important on some of those scenes to have disclaimers?
I think that people watching understand. I mean, with Home Alone, I think people know that they can't set up
What if you're 13?
booby trap.
A booby trap's a lot different than perhaps making fun of a marginalized group
But
of people.
that's discernment.
A 13-year-old might not have that discernment.
You'd be surprised.
Okay. All right, coming up on DBL, our hilarious interview with Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt. The two have teamed up for a new movie, and we have your first look.
When posts circulate online, we verify to make sure that we have accurate information, and that is especially important when it comes to politics. Like this tweet, posted by Fox News contributor Leo Terrell. He wrote, President Trump, I've done some legal research. The Speaker of the House does not have to be a member of Congress. Therefore, when the Republicans take over the House in November 2022, you should become Speaker. And this is not the first time we've heard this claim. In October, a Verify viewer named Alvin asked us the same question. So let's verify, can a non-House member, like President Trump, become Speaker of the House? Here are sources. Online resources from the Office of the Historian and the Clerk of the House. This report from the Congressional Research Service. And Casey Burgat from the George Washington University. We also looked to Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution. And let's start there. The line in question reads as follows. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers. It says nothing about whether the Speaker needs to be a member of the House.
It literally could be anybody.
Our GW expert tells us that the Speaker has always been a House member, but it doesn't have to be. In fact, there have been protest votes before for people like Joe Biden, Colin Powell, Stacey Abrams, and many others.
This has never been tested to the point where someone has won that nomination where then we have to have this debate. But as it stands right now, because it hasn't been disproven, then the House will choose its own speaker and other officers. A baby's on the table, former President Trump's on the table, potentially a non-citizen themselves is on the table. It's the Wild West.
So we could verify that yes, a non-House member can be named House Speaker, whether it's Donald Trump, Barack Obama, you, me, or anyone else. Although historically, it always has been a member of the House. Reporting here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
Hey, it's always a good thing when the stars of our favorite shows, Real Housewives and Breaking Bad, come together to make a Christmas movie. Earlier, we sat down with Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt to talk all things you want to know. Check it out.
Kyle and Betsy, welcome to DBL. Now, you play best friends in the Housewives of the North Pole, which is surprisingly not a reality show, but a movie. So before we get to the movie, Kyle, your sister Kathy recently chatted with us about Paris's wedding, and we gotta know, how was it and how late did you party?
Good question.
It was a lot of fun. It was 3 days in a row. I was exhausted by the end, but it was beautiful and it was heartfelt and so sweet. And she was just true to herself and, you know, reading her vows. She was funny and adorable, and it was beautiful.
That was a downplay.
Yeah, that
I know.
I was so exhausted. I was like, 3 days? You gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna have to skip one of these things. But my family was not having any of that.
Now, Betsy, people know you best, obviously, from playing Marie in Breaking Bad. What's the hardest scene of that show for you to go back and watch?
I can't watch Hank get shot or die. Just can't do it. And I get that it's pretend, like I'm aware, but I swear to God, my blood pressure goes up when I see it. And I know it's gonna happen, but it just like, I live it and it affects me.
I am a huge Housewives fan, as I mentioned before we got started.
Shine. After party! This is insane.
Fans are really excited to see you on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, where you were open about your struggles with body image. So can you tell us more about that?
I think for me, it really stemmed from, I was, you know, I grew up with two sisters that were like super skinny and blonde. And I was always like brunette and a fuller. I had, you know, big chest, young and bigger back booty, whatever you want to call it. And it wasn't the style then. I was looking at Charlie's Angels and they were all like, you know, like my sisters were. And it was always what I struggled with. I worked out all the time and, you know, I was dieting and, you know, I was like, why am I not looking like these girls? So I do talk about it and I laugh about it, but I didn't used to talk about it because I didn't want to draw attention to it because I didn't want my daughters to hear me talk like that, even though it was my truth, because I hid it from them because I never wanted them to have those issues, and thankfully they don't. So,
you know, I have to tell you that when I saw you in Greece with Erica and you were taking those pictures, I was really proud of you in that moment because I could feel where you were coming from. So that storyline, and it's not a storyline, I know it's your life, but I thought that was important for us all to see.
Well, let's get something else.
Thank you.
Speaking of important, Betsy, let's get to this movie. You star with Kyle and the dog. In the Housewives of the North Pole.
That's me barking.
Sorry, my dog. I know.
We have to what's the dog's name? Tell us. Let's talk.
His name is Lando Calrissian.
Really? Star Wars fan.
Yes. About the movie.
That made my day. Now you star, Betsy. You star with Kyle in the Housewives of the North Pole.
You were cheating, Mrs. Rivera?
Hi, girls. Look at those great outfits.
Got any cookies? Door deliveries are over.
What would your housewife tagline be?
Oh my gosh.
We
Okay.
knew that was coming, Betsy.
No, you did. You told me. I have to tell you, I have to be honest. Like, to me, like, Kyle is just like a really wonderful human and a fantastic actor. I am not versed in Housewives, so I was like, what do you mean tagline? And she's like, someone's going to ask you that. My tagline would be, watch this movie. Watch our Christmas movie and tell everybody you know to watch it and love it and
but
don't
then you
be a
gotta
jerk
throw
at
in the
Christmas.
or else. Well, by the way, the movie has its own great little tagline. You know, it says, 2 best friends, only one queen of Christmas, and you're looking at her. How about that?
Oh.
Right here.
There you
Right
go.
here.
I just gave you a tagline, Betsy. You're welcome.
Right here. Yeah.
That's a great place to end. Ladies, thank you so much. DBL Nation,
guys are great.
The Housewives of the North Pole is streaming now on Peacock. Thanks so much, Kyle and Betsy. You guys were a pleasure.
Thank you.
Shout out to Lando.
Shout out to Lando. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Plenty Plenty of questions have come out of the more than 2,000-page infrastructure bill. One THV11 Verify viewer asked, is it true there is some sort of driving tax or fee that you'll have to pay each year based on your vehicle's mileage and how much you've driven that year, included in President Biden's Build Back Better plan? This claim and similar ones have made their rounds all over social media. So let's verify. Our sources: the bill itself, Michelle Nellenbach from the Bipartisan Policy, and Scott Hardin with the Arkansas Department of Finance and Administration. Under Section 13,002, it states the National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee pilot program is completely voluntary. The first objective of the program is to test the design, acceptance, implementation, and financial sustainability of a National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee.
So instead of paying at the pump for a gallon, you would pay based on the amount of miles you put on your car. And so the provisions in the bill are to allow folks to opt into a pilot program, an experiment, basically, to see how it would work.
Scott Hardin with DFA confirms their motor vehicle team has also not received any outreach from the federal government requesting they plan implementation of a mileage-based fee. He goes on to say any move to create a nationwide fee based on mileage would have to be established through new, separate legislation. We would certainly alert Arkansans if we received any indication this is a possibility. So we can verify this claim is false. This pilot program is included in President Biden's infrastructure bill, but it's totally voluntary, so there is not a requirement to pay a mileage fee. The only way to create a nationwide mileage tax would be to pass a new bill.
It's not unusual for current and former presidents to wish supporters a happy holiday season. But an online postcard that shows former President Donald Trump in a tuxedo is raising a lot of eyebrows on social media. The card, which we're blurring because of its explicit nature, was retweeted thousands of times, including by some prominent people who are verified on Twitter. So let's verify. Is the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump real? Our sources are Getty Images, Photo Forensics, and the official Donald Trump merchandise store. The former president is selling holiday merchandise on his website, and his Save America website links to this card, which is not the card that's going viral. No one within the Trump organization has shared the doctored card, and his spokesperson confirmed to PolitiFact it was fake. So, no, the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump is not real. Verify traced the original image back to 2019, when former President Trump met Queen Elizabeth. An analysis using photo forensic software showed the former president's tuxedo was edited to make part of the explicit imagery. Many of those who shared the card have since deleted their post. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
There's so much more DBL ahead. Stay with us.
Mariah Carey's hit single, All I Want for Christmas Is You, was certified diamond by the Recording Industry Association of America, making it the first holiday single to earn the distinction. Carey's Christmas hit usually begins making its way up the music charts around late October, according to Last.fm listenership data from the past 3 years. But does that mean that the holiday hit gets the most plays on streaming apps during the Christmas season? Verify reached out to these sources to get an answer, and drum roll please, it's true. All I Want for Christmas Is You is the most streamed holiday song according to music streaming app data from Apple Music, Amazon Music, Billboard, Pandora, and Spotify. According to Amazon Music, global streams on their app for this song are up 46% in 2021 when compared to this time last year. It's also one of the most requested holiday songs on Amazon Music via Alexa so far this year. According to Spotify data, the song tops its Christmas hits list and is the most popular song on Carey's artist profile with nearly 1 billion streams overall. It's also my all-time favorite Christmas song, and I may or may not dance around the table to it every year with my family. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariane Till.
This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane?
This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff, Al, and Erica. So the wait is over. The new Sex and the City series dropped today on HBO Max. SJP attended the premiere in New York City with her husband, Matthew Broderick, and 19-year-old son, James Wilk. Now, we are not giving away any major spoilers, okay? But we will say that Samantha is very much alive. Yes, she is. We do learn the fate of another major character, though. And as far as the reviews, well, they're mixed. The Washington Post is calling it, quote, bloated, laugh-free comedy about grief, while The Independent said it was so good, Kim Cattrall must be kicking herself for not being a part of it. Wow. Do you think the series can capture the magic of the original?
I don't think that's the point of the series. From the way that it's shot to how they've chosen to represent themselves, I think that this is just the dawn of a new day. But in terms of the juxtaposition between those very polar opposite reviews, I think it really depends on your relationship with the franchise. Most of us who saw the first movie were very, it's still very difficult for me to watch that because Big leaves Carrie at the altar. Spoiler alert, but y'all should have found that out 15 years ago. That whole thing, watching her go through that trauma and stuff, was that a joyful thing? No, but were we willing to engage in that? Yes, because we were willing to engage in it like they were a friend, like there's gonna be good times and bad times.
Yeah, listen, it's all about nostalgia, right? Could you even trust a review anymore? No. Have you ever read a review and you're like, yeah, probably this guy's right?
Amazon. If somebody leaves a video review, like when I bought my bike, that's the only one I look at. I'll look
Maybe
at
Amazon,
but not movie because they're so subjective.
Yeah.
And Erica said something just now.
You never look at reviews before you tune into a series?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Oh,
because that's not me, but it's like, Erica said something just now that made me think about Jeff because Erica, you said it's about your relationship with the franchise, and I started thinking about you with Entourage.
Same thing.
And there's one or two ways. You could be like, Entourage is my popcorn at the end of the day. I like to watch it. So I don't want to see the last movie where somebody dies and the main character gets cancer and somebody's kid. You're like, that's not what I watched this show for. But somebody could watch Entourage and be like, I relate to these people, and just like in real life, sometimes people die and sometimes people's kids get sick. So it's like, how do you look at this franchise for you? So if this was Entourage, how do you want to see it wrap up?
Well, Entourage they came out with a movie, right? This is the woman's version of Entourage, Sex and the City. It wasn't the heart of Entourage, right? It's the same characters. They're doing different things. They're grown up. I have a feeling this might be similar. I don't know. It just dropped today.
Are you going to watch it?
No. Yeah, but,
Will Jordan?
No.
No, she's not. Okay.
Yeah, but we'll talk about it tomorrow and enjoy.
Okay. Jennifer Aniston and her ex, Justin Theroux, got cozy on the set of the Facts of Life recreation. Justin posted this pic with Jen on Instagram. Justin was a producer for the live in front of a studio audience episode. Jen is also on the cover of The Hollywood Reporter, where she talked about dealing with pregnancy rumors in the tabloids and how they said she chose her career over kids. She called the comments, quote, really hurtful and just nasty. Wow, how hurtful is that? What did you think about Jen opening up like this?
I think it's very real. Any woman of a certain age, I'm 40, I don't have kids, I talk about it very openly. People have feelings about that. I'm not sure why, because I'm pretty sure if I had kids, nobody'd be offering to babysit. But,
I'd babysit, girl.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, put some stake, stock in this game if you're going to talk about it. But no, it's such a personal choice, and it's so weird to still be having this conversation in this day and age. But it's we all make decisions. And for me, it's a very calculated decision. Could I have decided to be a mom earlier? I absolutely could have. I didn't make that decision for a reason. So if I never get to become a mom, then that was the calculated risk that I took. I don't know how Jennifer Aniston feels about it. I don't know if there were medical issues. You know why I don't know? Because it's none of my damn business.
Right. Right.
So until we have the conversation about why people feel so comfortable just jumping on in folks' uteruses.
And what's wrong with not wanting to have kids? It could be medical. It could be that she took a career risk, or it could be the fact that she just doesn't want to have kids. And for some reason, that is correlated in this day and age as being selfish. And that is not fair, and that is not okay.
But it's not about being fair. It's about being able to attack women for any choice that they make. And it's very simple. We've seen this since women started working. You're going to have, it can go one of three ways. You decide not to have kids, which is a decision you make. You have maybe the most successful career any female actress has ever had, in Jennifer Aniston. You get criticized. You decide to get pregnant halfway through your career. We sat here, what was the woman's name? She was on Dancing with the Stars, and she got pregnant, and she said Samantha Harris. Right. And she said people were calling for her job in real time. Or you can decide to have kids, not pursue your career at that time, and people will say, oh, you're just a stay-at-home mom, you just iron and change diapers, nice job there. So what are your options as a woman? Your option is to get attacked. Right. And it's not fair. I hope that dynamic changes because it's ridiculous. And I want to see it change. And I'm sure you've seen it with your wife. She's still young, ambitious, but she loves her boys. It's this duality of thought. And it's impossible.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, hardest job in the world. There is no right time to have children.
Right.
You know what I mean? So don't tell somebody when their right time is.
Yeah.
So,
right.
You know,
well, we're all in agreement on that one. Dax Shepard revealed in the past he was bothered over the fact that his wife made more money than him. Speaking to Ellen Pompeo on her podcast, Dax said some people on social media would call him out for not making as much as Kristen Bell. Listen.
People say snide on Instagram, like somehow my wife pays for everything. That shouldn't bother me at all. I know how much I make. It's a lot. Yet 2 days later, I'll be hearing that tweet in my head. Really? Because that's an emasculating, that person said that to emasculate me.
Oh, it's nice to, it's nice not to hear that, but it's nice to hear we were just focusing so much on how women get the short end of the stick, but we forget that men face their own battles too. Have you ever had to deal with this when Jordan won Big Brother?
No, it's not a battle.
But did people go after you?
No. Here, we were talking in the break, and then I just found out that people think birds are government spies.
Well, no, that's a
real thing.
But my point to this is, here's my point. These people think birds are government spies. Then they go on and write Dax Shepard. Then they write into this show or Jeopardy, and they change the host of the show. Or they talk to me about what I said on the show. People are insane. And they're writing, and we're like, what are your thoughts on that? There is no such thing. If my wife made more than me, I would be so excited about it. I wouldn't feel emasculated. If I was at home doing nothing and lazy and I didn't work out and I ate chips all day and I played video games, I'd feel some type of way about myself. If I'm out there grinding, trying my best, and my wife happened to do better, we're a team.
I will say this,
to do with
Jeff, let me say this. We know men. We know a lot of guys. You're telling me if two guys got into it,
good point.
There wouldn't be there'd be a guy that would take a shot at another guy if his wife made more money. Yeah. Like after a couple drinks, I know some people that would be like, hey, well.
They're not secure with themselves.
Absolutely, though. I agree. But I'm just saying, like, people will take shots.
That dynamic needs to change too.
Yes, but I'm telling you, there are people that
Does that person believe in government birds?
Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe in them.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Coming up on DBL, we will introduce you to a very important guest putting missing people of color into the spotlight. This is a very important story. Do not go anywhere.
Closed captioning provided by
why don't we hear about these cases, a story that affected her the most, examples of how exposure has helped a case, and how we can change the statistics in these cases. There is a call to action full screen.
Awesome.
And then
At the end?
At the end, and then Sammy will throw to a clip and we'll bump out with the clip.
What made her start this? I mean, despite the fact that there's no media attention, but was it a personal story?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm going to call Megan.
Okay, I'm just curious if. Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will say this. Oh yeah, I'll say this about the Black and Missing docuseries is I feel like this is one of the things that we've seen in real time go from like these cases aren't being covered to like our show started covering missing Black people and now there's a doc. So like we are seeing that like if you start talking about these things like yes, they're missing white people that need to be found, but there's also a lot of missing people of color that need to be found.
Right.
And I think a lot of times people just need to say it out loud and be like, yeah, why aren't we doing something?
There is a
and people are
disparity.
doing something now.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It's better than we were, I would say, a year ago, because I never
Yes.
even knew of this being a
not
thing.
like her
Like
child or anything.
there being no coverage
Right.
of missing, not only just black folks. There was I saw this one about this
What about
Asian woman.
natives? Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
I saw that.
It's so sad if you really dig deep into, there's a film called Road to Paloma that digs deep into, it's a scripted film with Jason Momoa, and it digs deep in how there's a loophole on a lot of native Indian reservations where the missing people, because it's the local police departments there, don't have the same resources, and so there will be predators that directly go to these places to commit their acts because they know that there is less resources to lock them up.
And when you say less,
and different
less resources, you're talking about maybe 2 cops for 900
and
square
different
miles.
jurisdictions,
Right.
and it is disgusting.
There's a documentary
Yes.
called Blackfeet Boxing, and it's a man that taught young Native women to box because it's such a problem to defend.
Be careful, okay?
Okay.
African Americans remain missing 4 times longer than white Americans. That number is alarming. We hear from families all the time, the police is turning us away, the media wouldn't respond.
Wow, a new documentary is shedding light on the shocking disparity involving missing people of color. All last month, DBL featured some of those cases, but there is one organization pushing these cases to the mainstream. Please welcome to the show, Natalie Wilson, co-founder of the Black and Missing Foundation. Natalie, welcome to DBL. You know, I have so much respect for you, and you really are doing God's work, trying to provide a service and shedding light to these cases. Why don't we hear about these cases in your words?
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
And the feedback that we're getting from families is that the cases aren't taken seriously. I'll give you an example. When our children, minority children, are reported missing, oftentimes they're classified by law enforcement as a runaway. So if you don't, if you're classified as a runaway, you don't get the Amber Alert. You definitely don't get any media coverage at all. And adults are often stereotyped as being involved with some type of criminal activity, or that type of deviant behavior is what happens in those communities. And their lives in these cases, again, just aren't taken seriously.
Thank you for being here. Your organization has helped nearly 400 families get closure. And to be clear, some of those endings were not happy ones. Is there one story that really stands out to you or that has affected you the most?
Well, all of the cases really are so important to us, but I think the catalyst or the inspiration behind the organization is Tamika Houston, who went missing from Spartanburg, South Carolina. And we read how her family, her aunt, who's in my profession, public relations, really struggled to get media coverage, national media coverage. And Natalie Holloway disappeared a year later. Wow. And we all know her name, we know her face. So, you know, it's just disheartening. And our goal is to be advocates for these families, to help them get the assistance from law enforcement and the media coverage needed.
So Natalie, when it comes to solving these cases, you say exposure is the most important thing. Al and I were just talking about that in the break. Can you give us a specific example of how the media has helped the case?
Okay, well, most recently, there was a child, a 1-year-old, that was missing from Maryland. And on social media, we shared her profile. Someone saw her on a subway in New York. Wow. And contacted law enforcement, and she was able to be rescued. And a couple of years ago, we had a case where we got national coverage. The family was on The View. We were able to take the family on The View. And within 14 minutes of that show airing, we received a tip that led us directly to the young girl who was missing. And within an hour, she was reunited with her family. So that shows the real power of media and why it's needed.
Wow.
Right. And, as you're talking, it just reminds me that somebody always knows something. It seems like this world is this vast situation with strangers, but everybody kind of knows something. You see a girl that kind of seems out of place at the store and you remember and you call the cops, but people need to know that this is happening in order for this to happen. So I really appreciate what you're doing. And also I wanted to ask you, how do you help families navigate just the sheer heartbreak with these cases?
Well, we ask families to give up, not to give up. To hold on to hope, because sometimes they don't know what to do, and we help them with media coverage, navigating the process with law enforcement, and just to hold on just another day. They know that we are working alongside them, and we're doing everything that we can to help them find their missing loved one.
That's bad.
Natalie, something stuck out to me when you were speaking, that the idea of the information, the media not taking these cases seriously, police not taking these cases seriously, and the fact that we are the most connected that we have ever been in the history of the world. So even when you get something that scrolls across your feed about a missing person, sharing it on your stories can help and change that. So how else do we change the statistics in these cases?
Well, first, awareness is key. We can no longer turn a blind eye because it's not happening to you or your family. It could be any one of us that could be missing. Our mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, valuable members of our community. So what we need our community and law enforcement and the media to do is like these profiles, help them to go viral and share it within the network. We know that we can't get media coverage for every case, but we say less is more. So less of one particular person or race. Let's even the playing field and show more cases, because these families desperately are searching for their missing loved one, and they deserve answers or closure.
Yes, they do. Natalie, thank God for you. To our viewers out there, to get involved, visit the website blackandmissinginc.com. You can literally save someone's life. Natalie, we really appreciate you. Thank you for joining us here at DBL and creating change. Before we go to break, we want to show a couple of active cases. If anyone watching has information, please contact Natalie and her organization.
Thank you.
We all know that
when posts circulate online, we verify to make sure that we have accurate information, and that is especially important when it comes to politics. Like this tweet, posted by Fox News contributor Leo Terrell. He wrote, "President Trump, I've done some legal research. The Speaker of the House does not have to be a member of Congress. Therefore, when the Republicans take over the House in November 2022, you should become Speaker." And this is not the first time we've heard this claim. In October, a Verify viewer named Alvin asked us the same question. So let's verify, can a non-House member, like President Trump, become Speaker of the House? Here are sources. Online resources from the Office of the Historian and the Clerk of the House. This report from the Congressional Research Service. And Casey Burgat from the George Washington University. We also looked to Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution. And let's start there. The line in question reads as follows. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers. It says nothing about whether the Speaker needs to be a member of the House.
It literally could be anybody.
Our GW expert tells us that the Speaker has always been a House member, but it doesn't have to be. In fact, there have been protest votes before for people like Joe Biden, Colin Powell, Stacey Abrams, and many others.
This has never been tested to the point where someone has won that nomination, where then we have to have this debate. But as it stands right now, because it hasn't been disproven, then the House will choose its own Speaker and other officers. A baby's on the table. Former President Trump's on the table. Potentially a non-citizen themselves is on the table. It's the Wild West.
So we could verify that yes, a non-House member can be named House Speaker, whether it's Donald Trump, Barack Obama, you, me, or anyone else. Although historically, it always has been a member of the House. Reporting here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
Welcome back. If you're anything like me, there are still people to shop for and gifts to buy. Luckily, our friends at Morning Save have us covered. So check out the deals Steph showed Tori earlier. All right, what do you have for us today, Steph?
Hey, Tori, I've got some wonderful products and even better deals, and I can't wait to share them with you. So first up, we've got the Kybol Cybovac E3. Includes one robot cleaner. How snazzy is this? It's got a smart navigation system, so it'll map out your floors before it cleans them, which is super efficient.
Whoa.
It's got a 2.5 hour of cleaning in just one charge, and you can even set up a cleaning schedule in the convenient app. It's also compatible with Alexa and Google Assistant, so I mean, talk about easy chores. And we all know that robot vacuums are pricey, but our friends at Morning Save got this incredible price just for you, DBL Nation.
Ooh.
Are you ready to hear
Yes.
it? Okay, so normally it's $280, but we've got it for only $129, which saves you guys 54%.
Alexa, clean up my mess and my savings.
Yes, how awesome is this going to be if you've got a Christmas tree and the pine needles keep dropping? You can just go around it and you just don't have to do anything.
Brilliant idea.
Tori, everyone needs one of these. We've got the All-Tech Lansing portable Bluetooth speaker. So this deal includes one of these lovely speakers and a leather carrying case for travel. So you can take music anywhere you go, and it delivers a really powerful sound from this little compact unit that's weather resistant.
Nice.
So you can play it indoors or outdoors. Now, this is normally $100. It's only $19.
19?
Which saves you guys 81%.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie.
And this next item is going to have you smiling way more. We've got the Vanity Planet Clarisonic toothbrush with a UV sanitizer. And not only that, it's got 6 brush heads.
I like that.
I know. So the deal includes 1 toothbrush with this sanitizing station, and it also has 6 toothbrush heads. So this toothbrush is a multitasking master, just like you. Oh, Tori, it's got everything you need. It's got a digital dental spa giving you freshness with 4 brushing modes and a timer to ensure you're brushing for the dentist recommended amount of time.
Smart.
So normally this is $98, but right now, Tori, it's only $39, which gives you no excuses because you're saving 60% on getting those pearly white sparkling.
That's and remember, going to the dentist is $8 million, so this is really good pricing.
Oh, this
Very
is going to keep your teeth in check, your mouth fresh, and gum disease is no joke, so this is a good buy.
Nice.
And then last, but certainly not least, oh, I think this is so good. We've got the Caloric Wine Lovers Bottle Opener Preserver Set. So it includes 1 opener, 1 preserver, a foil cutter, 2 rubber stoppers, and a drip-free wine pourer. So wine lovers, you've met your match because this set will uncork and it will reseal your wine bottles in seconds. So the opener will effortlessly extract the cork from the bottle at the touch of a button.
Wow.
And then the preserver vacuum seals your open bottles that you've not finished to prevent oxidation to keep the wine fresh.
Wow.
So normally this is as much as $100, but we've got it for only $39.
Oh, that's love.
Saving up to 61%.
Guys, this is great for your foodies, your gourmands, anybody who loves to have an after day drink or night drink. This is brilliant.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh, great pricing. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. It could not be easier, y'all. Thank you so much, Steph. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Plenty of questions have come out of the more than 2,000-page infrastructure bill. One THV11 Verify viewer asked, is it true there is some sort of driving tax or fee that you'll have to pay each year based on your vehicle's mileage and how much you've driven that year included in President Biden's Build Back Better plan? This claim and similar ones have made their rounds all over social media. So let's verify. Our sources, the bill itself, Michelle Nellenbach from the Bipartisan Policy, and Scott Hardin with the Arkansas Department of Finance and Administration. Under Section 13,002, it states the National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee Pilot Program is completely voluntary. The first objective of the program is to test the design, acceptance, implementation, and financial sustainability of a National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee.
So instead of paying at the pump for a gallon, you would pay based on the amount of miles you put on your car. And so the provisions in the bill are to allow folks to opt into a pilot program, an experiment, basically, to see how it would work.
Scott Harden with DFA confirms their motor vehicle team has also not received any outreach from the federal government requesting they plan implementation of a mileage-based fee. He goes on to say any move to create a nationwide fee based on mileage would have to be established through new, separate legislation. We would certainly alert Arkansans if we received any indication this is a possibility. So we can verify this claim is false. This pilot program is included in President Biden's infrastructure bill, but it's totally voluntary, so there is not a requirement to pay a mileage fee. The only way to create a nationwide mileage tax would be to pass a new bill.
It's not unusual for current and former presidents to wish supporters a happy holiday season. But an online postcard that shows former President Donald Trump in a tuxedo is raising a lot of eyebrows on social media. The card, which we're blurring because of its explicit nature, was retweeted thousands of times, including by some prominent people who are verified on Twitter. So let's verify. Is the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump real? Our sources are Getty Images, Photo Forensics, and the official Donald Trump merchandise store. The former president is selling holiday merchandise on his website, and his Save America website links to this card, which is not the card that's going viral. No one within the Trump organization has shared the doctored card, and his spokesperson confirmed to PolitiFact it was fake. So, no, the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump is not real. Verify traced the original image back to 2019, when former President Trump met Queen Elizabeth. An analysis using photo forensic software showed the former president's tuxedo was edited to make part of the explicit imagery. Many of those who shared the card have since deleted their post. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Erica, we got some comments.
Yes, it's about the Black and Missing Foundation. Serena says, I'm so glad this organization exists. And Marquita said, this is why I love DBL, for talking about cases like these.
Especially because Natalie, I asked our producers, you know, did something happen to one of her children or loved ones? And no, this is just somebody who empathetically wants to help.
Yeah,
and that just goes to show her service.
She's an awesome person, and
Yeah.
you have to clarify because it's hard to believe somebody can be that great. She's that wonderful of a
Yes,
person.
she is. Go to
Lucky.
that website. DBL's new every day. Bye, guys.
Mariah Carey's hit single, All I Want for Christmas Is You, was certified diamond by the Recording Industry Association of America, making it the first holiday single to earn the distinction. Carey's Christmas hit usually begins making its way up the music charts around late October, according to Last.fm listenership data from the past 3 years. But does that mean that the holiday hit gets the most plays on streaming apps during the Christmas season? Verify reached out to these sources to get an answer, and drum roll please, it's true. All I Want for Christmas Is You is the most streamed holiday song according to music streaming app data from Apple Music, Amazon Music, Billboard, Pandora, and Spotify. According to Amazon Music, global streams on their app for this song are up 46% in 2021 when compared to this time last year. It's also one of the most requested holiday songs on Amazon Music via Alexa so far this year. According to Spotify data, the song tops its Christmas hits list and is the most popular song on Carey's artist profile with nearly 1 billion streams overall. It's also my all-time favorite Christmas song, and I may or may not dance around the table to it every year with my family. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariane Till.
what we're talking about today on Daily Blast Live.
New video shows an officer collapsing after mistaking her gun for her taser, killing a man. How will the jury react to the deadly mistake? Do Christmas classics hold up in today's woke culture? Why some Christmas movies are being canceled for their toxic storylines? When a person of color goes missing, why is there no media frenzy? We're speaking with a woman who is pushing these important cases into the spotlight. She joins us live. And from Real Housewives and Breaking Bad, Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt stopped by DBL to spread some holiday cheer.
It says, 2 best friends, only one queen of Christmas, and you're looking at her. How about that?
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No. Nope.
Just stop.
Finally here, drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. It is Thursday, December 9th. I am Sam here with Al, Jeff, and Erica. So I know a lot of our viewers have already written in regard to Josh Duggar because he was found guilty this morning. He was on trial for 2 charges of possessing and receiving child pornography. Feds raided his office at a car dealership back in November and took his computer. His iPhone and MacBook were also taken from an RV. Prosecutors claim they found some images of minors below the age of 12. Josh faces 20 years in jail on each of the 2 charges and a $250,000 fine. Erica, you're shaking your head. What are you thinking?
I think that, you know, there are a lot of people who are culpable when it comes to aiding and abetting this man. He was given a platform, he was amplified, and, you know, it really speaks to me about why so many people stay quiet about their, especially their acute childhood trauma. Survivors speak up and they're vilified. When children speak up, they're told that they don't understand what they're saying.
Yep.
Children understand what they're saying, and it really bothers me a lot because so many people are so vocal about making sure that this population who has been traumatized and preyed upon aren't heard. The reason why people feel this way, and I know I'm going to offend some people, that's very intentional because I'm talking to you. When you have people in your own families, it's very difficult to say, this is wrong and we need to help protect our most vulnerable population. When you know that your dad, your grandfather, your uncle, your little boyfriend, even your sister, whoever it is doing this in your own home. Yeah, it is really hard. I understand that I've touched a nerve, but these children are our most vulnerable population. They need to be protected. And if you aren't going to do that protection, then get out of the way of those who are. This should have been stopped years ago.
15 years ago.
How many victims would not be victims had anyone spoken up and said, there is something that's not right here? You see something, you say something. How do you look at a 5-year-old?
Thank you.
A 5-year-old and know that someone is preying on them, and you can tell because they are displaying the behavior. If your 5-year-old is displaying overtly sexual behavior, you need to be asking questions. Where did you learn this?
Right.
It's the craziest thing to me.
And I just want to provide context because what Erica's saying, to those of you who think he's just being convicted or charged on these child pornography charges, what Erica is alluding to, or clearly speaking to, thank you for that, Erica, is way back in 2002, 2003. If you look at 2015 police reports, which I did when I covered this way back with CNN, there are details, confessions of his sisters, of a victim under 5, of a babysitter, of family members, of his parents, of himself confessing to these molestation charges. Well, guess what? He never really got justice because what had happened, the statute of limitations in Arkansas had ran up. So what did his father and mom do? Oh, they sent him to a ministry. And nothing against ministries. Let me tell you, my faith is very important to me, but this is slapping your faith right in the face when you send him under the guise of God to go get healed instead of being locked up behind bars to save other victims. To your point, Erica, he is a monster and he deserves to be behind bars for the rest of his damn life. Wow, that got really...
I'm glad you guys are passionate.
Speaking for all of us.
It's a good thing.
Okay. All right, so there is some more dramatic video that was shown yesterday at another trial in Minnesota. Kim Potter has been charged with manslaughter and the shooting death of Daunte Wright back in April. We covered that story, you guys remember. The video shows the moments leading up to the shooting when Kim grabs her gun instead of her taser and then shows Daunte driving away after he was shot. The officer then collapsed on the ground shouting, "I shot him, oh my God." She's got her hands on her head and she's screaming and crying. Does this new video, Al, make any difference to you in regard to the loss of Daunte?
Absolutely not. You know, what did make a difference to me was the testimony of the officer that was with her. And he said he went against what she said, which we have not seen a lot of. There usually is a blue wall of silence, and not in this case. The officer said he was in my possession, like I was touching him when the bullet hit. So this young man was being contained for a reason that didn't look like it needed to be. But Sam, this is what happens when you have guns involved with nonsense traffic stops. We've seen certain legislations brought up saying that we're going to stop with these traffic stops. It would be nice if we could just do them without having to worry about people's lives at stake. But we have another young man that will never hug his mom again. A young man that looks just like my son, around the same size as my son, around the same size as the kids I used to teach. These young people are being killed for what? It was in the middle of the day. He wasn't doing anything. We're talking about paperwork, some kind of old tag. But this is what happens when you just start harassing your citizens, Jeff. This young man, you could have given him a ticket. You don't have to pull people over. When you can run the license plate, if it's old, send the ticket to his house.
That's what they're...
Why are you pulling people over and then drawing a firearm? What could he have done?
Listen, I don't want to take this out of context because I don't want to put this young man down or his family or any way. This is why, and again, this is going to be sensitive when I say this, I want to put money back into the police. People want to defund the police. I say that, let me explain, because I want training done, okay? I know it doesn't even matter. If you watch a fight, okay, if you watch fighters, I'm a fan of the UFC, those guys are concussed and they still know how to put people in moves. They still know what to do because their training takes over when they're in a violent situation. If you are trained and you have to every year update that training and be retrained, when it comes to minor situations like traffic stops, you are not reaching for a taser or a gun. You are trained in what to do. And taking money out of the police department and not have money for these fundings, I think, my personal opinion, is a problem because we are not going to get the proper training that these police officers need.
But I think the scary thing is she had completed training for her taser, I believe.
In March, weeks before.
Obviously,
26 years.
Obviously, the training was not up to standard.
I think
because she made a mistake.
Yeah, I think we also are not having a conversation about how much of our tax dollars are actually already allocated to police departments. If you want to do a reallocation, which essentially is, it's semantics here, we're talking about defund the police. That's semantics because we're talking about reallocating funds. You're talking about, like, if there's a police department and they have militarized, which is what the problem is. A lot of people feel that the issue is police are over militarized as opposed to protecting and serving. If you want to reallocate the funds within the police department for added training, that's one thing. I think when you said defund the police and then your point, it doesn't really jive because it's all reallocating funds, whether it's reallocating funds to go to other support systems or it's reallocating funds of how the police actually use the dollars that they have. My big thing is we see this video. Some people are going to feel a lot of sympathy towards this officer like it was a mistake. First of all, you don't get to make life and death mistakes. And secondly, the video that really gets me is of Daunte Wright's mother. So if we're going to have a very emotional, this is moments after her son was shot. That's the emotion that I care about. I care about his mother, his family, all of those who see themselves in him. That's where my sympathy goes, not towards Kim Potter.
I just look at that and I'm like, why were there, what could have possibly happened where there were that many police officers there for this young man that had an expired tag? Like, what could have possibly been going on in a country awash in drugs, in a country awash in illegal opioids, in a country where sex predators just wander and have television shows that are on the air for decades?
Right.
Why did that situation require 4 officers when there's situations that require hundreds of officers and they get none?
Right.
I just don't understand. And for this woman to have felt as empowered enough that even though he was already under another officer's control, she needed to best case scenario, hit him directly in the chest with a taser?
Right.
Which could also kill him? Like, what could somebody be doing where we needed this much containment for a 20-year-old kid that couldn't have weighed 160 pounds? I just don't understand it, and would like some explanation. And we never hear anything from the police. It's a tragedy, and we move on. But his family, his mother, will never move on from sitting on that tree lawn right there.
Thank you for showing that video. We'll be right back.
Closed captioning provided by...
It's so easy to sell on Poshmark. You just pick out your item, snap a couple of photos, and boom, it's up for sale.
That's great. It's written in there, so that's perfect.
Well, obviously we were talking about police stops, and I always...
So I love that you brought up really quickly, not to cut you off. I just want our viewers to know, because as constituents, we can support this type of legislation, depending on which county, which city, which state you live in. But Al was talking about how different, what would it be? Like your local, not your Chamber of Commerce, but your local, who would help put forth the new legislation? So before I get to that part, and Al can answer that, this is what the legislation would be. So if you have expired tags, a police officer can run those tags, right? Don't have to pull you over. They know exactly where you live by running those by your license plate, and then you get a fine in the mail. That's it. You get a ticket, you get a fine, nobody gets pulled over, nobody's life can be at stake. How would you bring that to fruition?
I
Do you
think
take
that
it
you
to
can
like
convince the public by, I told you, I have one of my best friends in the world, his brother, that's all I'm gonna say, his brother is a police officer, and I talked to him a lot about these situations, and I am empathetic because I know him, and I love him, and he's like, his brother, who's a cool guy, was like, we are scared too, because, and I mentioned, I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, because he's like, we arrest these people that we know have 2 or 3 strikes, and we know that they're back out there. So this is, you can sell this to the public, like, if you are Blue Lives Matter, this helps them.
But who do you go to is my question. Do you go to like is it like a senator type thing that you want to support?
It would start, I assume it would start locally, but I think.
Like your police chief?
I wish, I don't feel comfortable enough even speaking on like how you start a law.
I know.
I don't know.
I know like my friend Martine, who is former mayor but now sits on the city council. So maybe you bring it up to city council, because the city council can help enact it with your local police chief. So maybe that's how you start.
I think people can affect a lot of change locally, and I'm not even privy to that as well. So like, I got a lot to learn as well. But yeah.
Welcome back to DBL. So we're going to take a big turn here, okay, to a much lighter topic that is dividing the internet. Surprise, surprise. Some social media critics are taking aim at a certain Christmas movie, or actually multiple Christmas movies, suggesting they should be canceled. The New York Post came up with a list. Let's take a look. Let's see what you think. First up is It's a Wonderful Life. Some people are saying Jimmy Stewart's character, George Bailey, was emotionally abusive, manipulative, and also a misogynist. Others are calling it out for its lack of diversity.
I find that shocking. But it isn't like the point if somebody is a misogynist and emotionally abusive to watch them grow throughout the movie and learn a lesson? I think if you said that about any character, you would say all those things and then say this pivotal moment of the movie happened, and then they're a better person for it.
I don't know if it always ends up that way, Al.
No?
No.
That's the whole point.
No, it's not the whole point, because you have to consider what year was this movie made.
1947.
And that was very normalized.
Yeah.
So yeah, we look at it through 2021 lenses and we're like, well, what were y'all thinking? But we can say that about just about everything.
And I would question anybody that's watching movies from the late 40s looking for diversity. publicity. I think that's more on you than the movie.
Next up is the holiday. People are taking aim at both male leads for their toxic masculinity. First, they say Jude Law's character is a womanizer who hurts women just by being himself. Then they say Jack Black's character makes moves on an emotionally vulnerable Kate Winslet and is basically, Jeff, a sociopath.
I love this movie.
Do you really? I've never seen it, yeah.
You edit from my last clip, put that at the end. Listen, we have many more examples.
Yes.
This is poking fun at like woke culture. They're going overboard to make it seem a little bit crazy.
I agree.
It's poking fun.
What are you looking at?
I'm not, well, I don't want to interrupt her.
Well, no,
ahead.
I
Tell
take
me.
issue with this one, actually, because there's a lot of assumptions being made about Kate Winslet's character being emotionally vulnerable and that she was taken advantage of. She was going through a tough time. Sometimes you get your groove back in different ways, and Jack Black just happened to be there. She could have been having a very empowering moment. I think that was misogynistic.
See?
Okay, and then I'll save my comment for the end. Next up is the Santa Claus. Critics are slamming it for being fat-phobic and containing several fat jokes which don't hold up in today's world.
I'm here for it.
Okay, so
I'm
you
here.
like the fat jokes.
I don't. No, not. I don't.
You said you're here for it.
No, I'm here for the fact that he set a great example. That he went under, like he had a medical issue. He gained a lot of weight. He went to his doctor, which is what you would want anybody that you care about to do. If somebody gained 50 pounds out of nowhere, you'd be like, hey, bro, go talk to somebody about that. He did it. I think he showed everybody the way to go.
Okay, we're going to do one more, and then let's discuss if they should be canceled. Finally, Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad, their Christmas classic, Jingle All the Way. Critics are slamming this movie for its relentless focus on consumerism. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Jeff, should this be canceled? I already know your answer, but let's hear it.
Okay, again, to my point, they're poking fun in my mind.
Okay.
But here's the problem. People have no discernment. They think this is real, and people right now are on Twitter saying, Jingle All the Way needs to be canceled. You're right, Bob, it does. And they're like forming their little groups on social media, and it's serious business, you know what I mean? They're really trying to get their name out there and pretending all this stuff, consumerism?
Yeah, I agree that it's ridiculous. I don't think anything should be canceled, but I know some of the movies can be seen problematically. And I know in the past when we've talked about Disney movies being overtly racist or prejudiced or anti-Semitic, there's a disclaimer. Do you think it's important on some of those scenes to have disclaimers?
I think that people watching understand. I mean, with Home Alone, I think people know that they can't set up
What if you're 13?
booby trap.
A booby trap's a lot different than perhaps making fun of a marginalized group
But
of people.
that's discernment.
A 13-year-old might not have that discernment.
You'd be surprised.
Okay. All right, coming up on DBL, our hilarious interview with Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt. The two have teamed up for a new movie, and we have your first look.
This holiday.
When posts circulate online, we verify to make sure that we have accurate information, and that is especially important when it comes to politics. Like this tweet, posted by Fox News contributor Leo Terrell. He wrote, President Trump, I have done some legal research. The Speaker of the House does not have to be a member of Congress. Therefore, when the Republicans take over the House in November 2022, you should become Speaker. And this is not the first time we've heard this claim. In October, a Verify viewer named Alvin asked us the same question. So let's verify, can a non-House member, like President Trump, become Speaker of the House? Here are sources. Online resources from the Office of the Historian and the Clerk of the House. This report from the Congressional Research Service. And Casey Burgat from the George Washington University. We also looked to Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution. And let's start there. The line in question reads as follows. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers. It says nothing about whether the Speaker needs to be a member of the House.
It literally could be anybody.
Our GW expert tells us that the Speaker has always been a House member, but it doesn't have to be. In fact, there have been protest votes before for people like Joe Biden, Colin Powell, Stacey Abrams, and many others.
This has never been tested to the point where someone has won that nomination where then we have to have this debate. But as it stands right now, because it hasn't been disproven, then the House will choose its own speaker and other officers. A baby's on the table. Former President Trump's on the table. Potentially a non-citizen themselves is on the table. It's the Wild West.
So we could verify that yes, a non-House member can be named House Speaker, whether it's Donald Trump, Barack Obama, you, me, or anyone else. Although historically, it always has been a member of the House. Reporting here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verified.
Lily, it's always a good thing when the stars of our favorite shows, Real Housewives and Breaking Bad, come together to make a Christmas movie. Earlier, we sat down with Kyle Richards and Betsy Brandt to talk all things you want to know. Check it out.
Kyle and Betsy, welcome to DBL. Now, you play best friends in the Housewives of the North Pole, which is surprisingly not a reality show, but a movie. So before we get to the movie, Kyle, your sister Kathy recently chatted with us about Paris's wedding, and we gotta know, how was it and how late did you party?
Good question.
It was a lot of fun. It was 3 days in a row. I was exhausted by the end, but it was beautiful and it was heartfelt and so sweet. And she was just true to herself and, you know, reading her vows. She was funny and adorable, and it was beautiful.
That was a downplay.
Yeah, that
I know.
I was so exhausted. I was like, 3 days. Gotta be kidding me. I'm gonna have to skip one of these things. But my family was not having any of that.
Now, Betsy, people know you best, obviously, from playing Marie in Breaking Bad. What's the hardest scene of that show for you to go back and watch?
I can't watch Hank get shot or die. Just can't do it. And I get that it's pretend, like I'm aware, but I swear to God, my blood pressure goes up when I see it. And I know it's gonna happen, but it just like, I live it and it affects me.
I am a huge Housewives fan, as I mentioned before we got started.
Shine. After party! This is insane.
Fans are really excited to see you on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, where you were open about your struggles with body image. So can you tell us more about that?
I think for me, it really stemmed from, I was, you know, I grew up with two sisters that were like super skinny and blonde. And I was always like brunette and a fuller. I had, you know, big chest, young and bigger back booty, whatever you want to call it. And it wasn't the style then. I was looking at Charlie's Angels and they were all like, you know, like my sisters were. And it was always what I struggled with. I worked out all the time and, you know, I was dieting and, you know, I was like, why am I not looking like these girls? So I do talk about it and I laugh about it, but I didn't used to talk about it because I didn't want to draw attention to it because I didn't want my daughters to hear me talk like that, even though it was my truth, because I hid it from them because I never wanted them to have those issues, and thankfully they don't. So,
you know, I have to tell you that when I saw you in Greece with Erica and you were taking those pictures, I was really proud of you in that moment because I could feel where you were coming from. So that storyline, and not a storyline, I know it's your life, but I thought that was important for us all to see.
Well, let's get something else.
Thank you.
Speaking of important, Betsy, let's get to this movie. You star with Kyle and the dog. In the Housewives of the North Pole.
That's me barking.
Sorry, my dog. I know.
We have to what's the dog's name? Tell us. Let's talk.
His name is Lando Calrissian.
Really? Star Wars fan.
Yes. About the movie.
That made my day. Now you star, Betsy. You star with Kyle in the Housewives of the North Pole.
You were cheating, Mrs. Rivera?
Hi, girls. Look at those great outfits.
Got any cookies? Door deliveries are over.
What would your housewife tagline be?
Oh my gosh.
We
Okay.
knew that was coming, Betsy.
No, you did. You told me. I have to tell you, I have to be honest. Like, to me, like, Kyle is just like a really wonderful human and a fantastic actor. I am not versed in Housewives, so I was like, what do you mean tagline? And she's like, someone's going to ask you that. My tagline would be, watch this movie. Watch our Christmas movie and tell everybody you know to watch it and love it and
But
don't
then you
be a
gotta
jerk
throw
at
in the
Christmas.
or else. Well, by the way, the movie has its own great little tagline. You know, it says, 2 best friends, only one queen of Christmas, and you're looking at her. How about that?
Oh.
Right here.
There you
Right
go.
here.
I just gave you a tagline, Betsy. You're welcome.
Right here. Yeah.
That's a great place to end. Ladies, thank you so much. DBL Nation,
guys are great.
The Housewives of the North Pole is streaming now on Peacock. Thanks so much, Kyle and Betsy. You guys were a pleasure.
Thank you.
Shout out to Lando.
Shout out to Lando. We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Plenty of questions have come out of the more than 2,000-page infrastructure bill. One THV11 Verify viewer asked, is it true there is some sort of driving tax or fee that you'll have to pay each year based on your vehicle's mileage and how much you've driven that year, included in President Biden's Build Back Better plan? This claim and similar ones have made their rounds all over social media. So let's verify. Our sources, the bill itself, Michelle Nellenbach from the Bipartisan Policy, and Scott Hardin with the Arkansas Department of Finance and Administration. Under Section 13,002, it states the National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee Pilot Program is completely voluntary. The first objective of the program is to test the design, acceptance, implementation, and financial sustainability of a National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee.
So instead of paying at the pump for a gallon, you would pay based on the amount of miles you put on your car. And so the provisions in the bill are to allow folks to opt into a pilot program, an experiment, basically, to see how it would work.
Scott Hardin with DFA confirms their motor vehicle team has also not received any outreach from the federal government requesting they plan implementation of a mileage-based fee. He goes on to say any move to create a nationwide fee based on mileage would have to be established through new, separate legislation. We would certainly alert Arkansans if we received any indication this is a possibility. So we can verify this claim is false. This pilot program is included in President Biden's infrastructure bill, but it's totally voluntary, so there is not a requirement to pay a mileage fee. The only way to create a nationwide mileage tax would be to pass a new bill.
It's not unusual for current and former presidents to wish supporters a happy holiday season. But an online postcard that shows former President Donald Trump in a tuxedo is raising a lot of eyebrows on social media. The card, which we're blurring because of its explicit nature, was retweeted thousands of times, including by some prominent people who are verified on Twitter. So let's verify. Is the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump real? Our sources are Getty Images, Photo Forensics, and the official Donald Trump merchandise store. The former president is selling holiday merchandise on his website, and his Save America website links to this card, which is not the card that's going viral. No one within the Trump organization has shared the doctored card, and his spokesperson confirmed to PolitiFact it was fake. So, no, the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump is not real. Verify traced the original image back to 2019, when former President Trump met Queen Elizabeth. An analysis using photo forensic software showed the former president's tuxedo was edited to make part of the explicit imagery. Many of those who shared the card have since deleted their post. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
There's so much more DBL ahead. Stay with us.
Mariah Carey's hit single, All I Want for Christmas Is You, was certified diamond by the Recording Industry Association of America, making it the first holiday single to earn the distinction. Carey's Christmas hit usually begins making its way up the music charts around late October, according to Last.fm listenership data from the past 3 years. But does that mean that the holiday hit gets the most plays on streaming apps during the Christmas season? Verify reached out to these sources to get an answer, and drum roll please, it's true. All I Want for Christmas Is You is the most streamed holiday song according to music streaming app data from Apple Music, Amazon Music, Billboard, Pandora, and Spotify. According to Amazon Music, global streams on their app for this song are up 46% in 2021 when compared to this time last year. It's also one of the most requested holiday songs on Amazon Music via Alexa so far this year. According to Spotify data, the song tops its Christmas hits list and is the most popular song on Carey's artist profile with nearly 1 billion streams overall. It's also my all-time favorite Christmas song, and I may or may not dance around the table to it every year with my family. With your Fast Fact, I'm Ariane Till.
Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Are you insane? This is a sham.
No.
Nope.
Y'all, just
It's
stop.
finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Sam here with Jeff, Al, and Erica. So the wait is over. The new Sex and the City series dropped today on HBO Max. SJP attended the premiere in New York City with her husband, Matthew Broderick, and 19-year-old son, James Wilk. Now, we are not giving away any major spoilers, okay? But we will say that Samantha is very much alive. Yes, she is. We do learn the fate of another major character, though. And as far as the reviews, well, they're mixed. The Washington Post is calling it, quote, bloated, laugh-free comedy about grief, while The Independent said it was so good, Kim Cattrall must be kicking herself for not being a part of it. Wow. Do you think the series can capture the magic of the original?
I don't think that's the point of the series. From the way that it's shot to how they've chosen to represent themselves, I think that this is just the dawn of a new day. But in terms of the juxtaposition between those very polar opposite reviews, I think it really depends on your relationship with the franchise. Most of us who saw the first movie were very, it's still very difficult for me to watch that because Big leaves Carrie at the altar. Spoiler alert, but y'all should have found that out 15 years ago. You know, that whole thing, watching her go through that trauma and stuff, was that a joyful thing? No, but were we willing to engage in that? Yes, because we were willing to engage in it like they were a friend, you know, like there's gonna be good times and bad times.
Yeah, listen, it's all about nostalgia, right? Could you even trust a review anymore? No. Have you ever read a review and you're like, yeah, probably this guy's right?
Amazon. If somebody leaves a video review, like when I bought my bike, that's the only one I look at. I'll look
Maybe
at
Amazon,
but not movie because they're so subjective.
Yeah.
And Erica said something just now.
You never look at reviews before you tune into a series?
Never.
Never?
Never.
Oh,
because that's not me, but it's like, you know, Erica said something just now that made me think about Jeff because Erica, you said it's about your relationship with the franchise, and I started thinking about you with Entourage.
Same thing.
And there's one or two ways. You could be like, Entourage is my popcorn at the end of the day. I like to watch it. So I don't want to see the last movie where like somebody dies and the main character gets cancer and somebody's kid. You're like, that's not what I watched the show for. But somebody could watch Entourage and be like, I relate to these people, and just like in real life, sometimes people die and sometimes people's kids get sick. So it's like, how do you look at this franchise for you? So like, if this was Entourage, how do you want to see it wrap up?
Well, Entourage they came out with a movie, right? This is the woman's version of Entourage, Sex and the City. It wasn't the heart of like Entourage, right? It's the same characters. They're doing different things. They're grown up. I have a feeling this might be similar. I don't know. It just dropped today.
Are you going to watch it?
No. Yeah, but, you know.
Will Jordan?
No.
No, she's not. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow and enjoy.
Okay. Jennifer Aniston and her ex, Justin Theroux, got cozy on the set of the Facts of Life recreation. Justin posted this pic with Jen on Instagram. Justin was a producer for the live in front of a studio audience episode. Jen is also on the cover of The Hollywood Reporter, where she talked about dealing with pregnancy rumors in the tabloids and how they said she chose her career over kids. She called the comments, quote, really hurtful and just nasty. Wow, how hurtful is that? What did you think about Jen opening up like this?
I think it's very real. Any woman of a certain age, you know, I'm 40, I don't have kids, I talk about it very openly. You know, people have feelings about that. I'm not sure why, because I'm pretty sure if I had kids, nobody'd be offering to babysit. But, you know,
I'd babysit, girl.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, like, you know, put some stake, you know, stock in this game if you're gonna talk about it. But no, you know, it's like, it's such a personal choice, and it's so weird to still be having this conversation in this day and age. But it's like, you know, we all make decisions. And for me, it's a very calculated decision. Could I have decided to be a mom earlier? I absolutely could have. I didn't make that decision for a reason. So if I never get to become a mom, then that was the calculated risk that I took. I don't know how Jennifer Aniston feels about it. I don't know if there were medical issues. You know why I don't know? Because it's none of my damn business.
Right.
Right. So until we have the conversation about why people feel so comfortable just jumping on in folks' uteruses.
And what's wrong with not wanting to have kids? It could be medical. It could be that she took a career risk, or it could be the fact that she just doesn't want to have kids. And for some reason, that is correlated in this day and age as being selfish. And that is not fair, and that is not okay.
But it's not about being fair. It's about being able to attack women for any choice that they make. And it's very simple. We've seen this since women started working. You're going to have, it can go one of three ways. You decide not to have kids, which is a decision you make. You have maybe the most successful career any female actress has ever had, in Jennifer Aniston. You get criticized. You decide to get pregnant halfway through your career. We sat here, what was the woman's name? She was on Dancing with the Stars, and she got pregnant, and she said Samantha Harris. Right. And she said people were calling for her job in real time. Or you can decide to have kids, not pursue your career at that time, and people will say, oh, you're just a stay-at-home mom, you just iron and change diapers, nice job there. So what are your options as a woman? Your option is to get attacked. Right. And it's not fair. I hope that dynamic changes because it's ridiculous. And I want to see it change. And I'm sure you've seen it with your wife. She's still young, ambitious, but she loves her boys. It's this duality of thought. And it's impossible.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, hardest job in the world. There is no right time to have children.
Right.
You know what I mean? So don't tell somebody when their right time is.
Yeah.
So,
right.
You know.
Well, we're all in agreement on that one. Dax Shepard revealed in the past he was bothered over the fact that his wife made more money than him. Speaking to Ellen Pompeo on her podcast, Dax said some people on social media would call him out for not making as much as Kristen Bell. Listen.
People say snide on Instagram, like somehow my wife pays for everything. That shouldn't bother me at all. I know how much I make. It's a lot. Yet 2 days later, I'll be hearing that tweet in my head. Really? Because that's an emasculating, that person said that to emasculate me.
Oh, it's nice to, it's nice not to hear that, but it's nice to hear we were just focusing so much on how women get the short end of the stick, but we forget that men face their own battles too. Have you ever had to deal with this when Jordan won Big Brother?
No, it's not a battle.
But did people go after you?
No. Here, we were talking in the break, and then I just found out that people think birds are government spies.
Well, no,
that's
a real thing.
But my point to this is, here's my point. These people think birds are government spies. Then they go on and write Dax Shepard. Then they write into this show or Jeopardy, and they change the host of the show. Or they talk to me about what I said on the show. People are insane. And they're writing, and we're like, what are your thoughts on that? There is no such thing. If my wife made more than me, I would be so excited about it. I wouldn't feel emasculated. If I was at home doing nothing and lazy and I didn't work out and I ate chips all day and I played video games, I'd feel some type of way about myself. If I'm out there grinding, trying my best, and my wife happened to do better, we're a team.
I will say this, Jeff, let me say this. We know men. We know a lot of guys. You're telling me if two guys got into it, good point. There wouldn't be there'd be a guy that would take a shot at another guy if his wife made more money. Yeah. Like after a couple drinks, I know some people that would be like, hey, well,
they're not secure with themselves.
Absolutely, I agree. But I'm just saying, like, people will take shots.
That dynamic needs to change too.
Yes, but I'm telling you, there are people that
Does that person believe in government birds?
Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe in them.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Coming up on DBL, we will introduce you to a very important guest putting missing people of color into the spotlight. This is a very important story. Do not go anywhere.
Closed captioning provided by
why don't we hear about these cases, a story that affected her the most, examples of how exposure has helped a case, and how we can change the statistics in these cases. There is a call to action full screen.
Awesome.
And then
at the end?
At the end, and then Sammy will throw to a clip and we'll bump out with a clip.
What made her start this? I mean, despite the fact that there's no media attention, but was it a personal story?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm going to call Megan.
Okay,
and
I'm just curious if. Okay, thank you.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will say this. Oh yeah, I'll say this about the Black and Missing docuseries is I feel like this is one of the things that we've seen in real time go from like these cases aren't being covered to like our show started covering missing Black people and now there's a doc. So like we are seeing that like if you start talking about these things like yes, they're missing white people that need to be found, but there's also a lot of missing people of color that need to be found.
Right.
And I think a lot of times people just need to say it out loud and be like, yeah, why aren't we doing something?
There is a
and people are
disparity.
doing something now.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
It's better than we were, I would say,
Right.
a year
Yes.
ago, because I never
Yes.
even knew of this being a
not
thing.
like her
Like,
child or
there being no coverage
Right.
of
Okay.
missing,
Thank you.
not only just black folks, I saw this one about this
What about
Asian woman.
natives? Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
I saw that.
It's so sad if you really dig deep into. There's a film called Road to Paloma that digs deep into. It's a scripted film with Jason Momoa, and it digs deep in how there's a loophole on a lot of native Indian reservations where the missing people, because it's the local police departments there, don't have the same resources, and so there will be predators that directly go to these places to commit their acts because they know that there is less resources to lock them up.
And when you say less,
and different
less resources, you're talking about maybe 2 cops for 900
Yep,
square
and different
miles.
jurisdictions,
Right.
and it is disgusting.
There's a documentary
Yes.
called Blackfeet Boxing, and it's a man that taught young Native women to box because it's such a problem to defend.
Be careful, okay?
Okay.
African Americans remain missing 4 times longer than white Americans. That number is alarming. We hear from families all the time, the police is turning us away, the media wouldn't respond.
Wow, a new documentary is shedding light on the shocking disparity involving missing people of color. All last month, DBL featured some of those cases, but there is one organization pushing these cases to the mainstream. Please welcome to the show, Natalie Wilson, co-founder of the Black and Missing Foundation. Natalie, welcome to DBL. You know, I have so much respect for you, and you really are doing God's work, trying to provide a service and shedding light to these cases. Why don't we hear about these cases in your words?
Okay. First of all, thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
And the feedback that we're getting from families is that the cases aren't taken seriously. I'll give you an example. When our children, minority children, are reported missing, oftentimes they're classified by law enforcement as a runaway. So if you don't, if you're classified as a runaway, you don't get the Amber Alert. You definitely don't get any media coverage at all. And adults are often stereotyped as being involved with some type of criminal activity, or that type of deviant behavior is what happens in those communities. And their lives in these cases, again, just aren't taken seriously.
Thank you for being here. Your organization has helped nearly 400 families get closure. And to be clear, some of those endings were not happy ones. Is there one story that really stands out to you or that has affected you the most?
Well, all of the cases really are so important to us, but I think the catalyst or the inspiration behind the organization is Tamika Houston, who went missing from Spartanburg, South Carolina. And we read how her family, her aunt, who's in my profession, public relations, really struggled to get media coverage, national media coverage. And Natalie Holloway disappeared a year later. Wow. And we all know her name, we know her face. So, you know, it's just disheartening. And our goal is to be advocates for these families, to help them get the assistance from law enforcement and the media coverage needed.
So Natalie, when it comes to solving these cases, you say exposure is the most important thing. Al and I were just talking about that in the break. Can you give us a specific example of how the media has helped the case?
Okay, well, most recently, there was a child, a 1-year-old, that was missing from Maryland. And on social media, we shared her profile. Someone saw her on a subway in New York.
Wow.
And contacted law enforcement, and she was able to be rescued. And a couple of years ago, we had a case where we got national coverage. The family was on The View. We were able to take the family on The View. And within 14 minutes of that show airing, we received a tip that led us directly to the young girl who was missing. And within an hour, she was reunited with her family. So that shows the real power of media and why it's needed.
Wow.
Right. And, as you're talking, it just reminds me that somebody always knows something. It seems like this world is this vast situation with strangers, but everybody kind of knows something. You see a girl that kind of seems out of place at the store and you remember and you call the cops, but people need to know that this is happening in order for this to happen. So I really appreciate what you're doing. And also I wanted to ask you, how do you help families navigate just the sheer heartbreak with these cases?
Well, we ask families to give up, not to give up. To hold on to hope, because sometimes they don't know what to do, and we help them with media coverage, navigating the process with law enforcement, and just to hold on just another day. They know that we are working alongside them, and we're doing everything that we can to help them find their missing loved one.
That's bad.
Natalie, something stuck out to me when you were speaking, that the idea of the information, the media not taking these cases seriously, police not taking these cases seriously, and the fact that we are the most connected that we have ever been in the history of the world. So even when you get something that scrolls across your feed about a missing person, sharing it on your stories can help and change that. So how else do we change the statistics in these cases?
Well, first, awareness is key. We can no longer turn a blind eye because it's not happening to you or your family. It could be any one of us that could be missing. Our mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, valuable members of our community. So what we need our community and law enforcement and the media to do is like these profiles, help them to go viral and share it within the network. We know that we can't get media coverage for every case, but we say less is more. So less of one particular person or race. Let's even the playing field and show more cases, because these families desperately are searching for their missing loved one, and they deserve answers or closure.
Yes, they do. Natalie, thank God for you. To our viewers out there, to get involved, visit the website blackandmissinginc.com. You can literally save someone's life. Natalie, we really appreciate you. Thank you for joining us here at DBL and creating change. Before we go to break, we want to show a couple of active cases. If anyone watching has information, please contact Natalie and her organization.
Thank you.
When posts circulate online, we verify to make sure that we have accurate information, and that is especially important when it comes to politics. Like this tweet, posted by Fox News contributor Leo Terrell. He wrote, "President Trump, I've done some legal research. The Speaker of the House does not have to be a member of Congress. Therefore, when the Republicans take over the House in November 2022, you should become Speaker." And this is not the first time we've heard this claim. In October, a Verify viewer named Alvin asked us the same question. So let's verify, can a non-House member, like President Trump, become Speaker of the House? Here are sources. Online resources from the Office of the Historian and the Clerk of the House. This report from the Congressional Research Service. And Casey Burgat from the George Washington University. We also looked to Article 1, Section 2 of the U.S. Constitution. And let's start there. The line in question reads as follows. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers. It says nothing about whether the Speaker needs to be a member of the House.
It literally could be anybody.
Our GW expert tells us that the Speaker has always been a House member, but it doesn't have to be. In fact, there have been protest votes before for people like Joe Biden, Colin Powell, Stacey Abrams, and many others.
This has never been tested to the point where someone has won that nomination where then we have to have this debate. But as it stands right now, because it hasn't been disproven, then the House will choose its own Speaker and other officers. A baby's on the table, former President Trump's on the table, potentially a non-citizen themselves is on the table. It's the Wild West.
So we could verify that yes, a non-House member can be named House Speaker, whether it's Donald Trump, Barack Obama, you, me, or anyone else, although historically, it always has been a member of the House. Reporting here at the Capitol, this is Evan Kozloff with your Verify.
Welcome back. If you're anything like me, there are still people to shop for and gifts to buy. Luckily, our friends at Morning Save have us covered. So check out the deals Steph showed Tori earlier.
All right, what do you have for us today, Steph?
Hey, Tori, I've got some wonderful products and even better deals, and I can't wait to share them with you. So first up, we've got the Kybol CyboVac E30 Robot Vacuum Cleaner. What? So this deal includes one robot cleaner. How snazzy is this? It's got a smart navigation system, so it'll map out your floors before it cleans them, which is super efficient.
Whoa.
It's got a 2.5 hour of cleaning in just one charge, and you can even set up a cleaning schedule in the convenient app. It's also compatible with Alexa and Google Assistant, so I mean, talk about easy chores. And we all know that robot vacuums are pricey, but our friends at Morning Save got this incredible price just for you, DBL Nation.
Ooh.
Are you ready to hear this?
Yes.
Okay, so normally it's $280, but we've got it for only $129, which saves you guys 54%.
Alexa, clean up my mess and my savings.
Yes. How awesome is this going to be if you've got a Christmas tree and the pine needles keep dropping? You can just go around it and you just don't have to do anything.
Brilliant idea.
Tori, everyone needs one of these. We've got the All-Tech Lensing portable Bluetooth speaker. So this deal includes one of these lovely speakers and a leather carrying case for travel. So you can take music anywhere you go, and it delivers a really powerful sound from this little compact unit that's weather resistant.
Nice.
So you can play it indoors or outdoors. Now, this is normally $100. It's only $19.
19?
Which saves you guys 81%.
Oh, thank you, Stephanie.
And this next item is going to have you smiling way more. We've got the Vanity Planet Clarisonic toothbrush with a UV sanitizer. And not only that, it's got 6 brush heads.
I like that.
I know. So the deal includes 1 toothbrush with this sanitizing station, and it also has 6 toothbrush heads. So this toothbrush is a multitasking master, just like you. Oh, Tori, it's got everything you need. It's got a digital dental spa giving you freshness with 4 brushing modes and a timer to ensure you're brushing for the dentist recommended amount of time.
Smart.
So normally this is $98, but right now, Tori, it's only $39, which gives you no excuses because you're saving 60% on getting those pearly white sparkling.
That's and remember, going to the dentist is $8 million, so this is really good pricing.
Oh, this
Very
is going to keep your teeth in check, your mouth fresh, and gum disease is no joke, so this is a good buy.
Nice.
And then last, but certainly not least, oh, I think this is so good. We've got the Caloric Wine Lovers Bottle Opener Preserver Set. So it includes 1 opener, 1 preserver, a foil cutter, 2 rubber stoppers, and a drip-free wine pourer. So wine lovers, you've met your match because this set will uncork and it will reseal your wine bottles in seconds. So the opener will effortlessly extract the cork from the bottle at the touch of a button.
Wow.
And then the preserver vacuum seals your open bottles that you've not finished to prevent oxidation to keep the wine fresh.
Wow.
So normally this is as much as $100,
Yes,
but we've got it for only $39.
Oh, that's love.
Saving up to 61%.
Guys, this is great for your foodies, your gourmands, anybody who loves to have an after day drink or night drink. This is brilliant.
Perfect.
Oh my gosh, great pricing. Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices. You can even visit morningsave.com right on your smartphone. It could not be easier, y'all. Thank you so much, Steph. We'll be right back.
Promotional.
Plenty of questions have come out of the more than 2,000-page infrastructure bill. One THV11 Verify viewer asked, is it true there is some sort of driving tax or fee that you'll have to pay each year based on your vehicle's mileage and how much you've driven that year included in President Biden's Build Back Better plan? This claim and similar ones have made their rounds all over social media. So let's verify. Our sources, the bill itself, Michelle Nellenbach from the Bipartisan Policy, and Scott Hardin with the Arkansas Department of Finance and Administration. under Section 13,002. It states the National Motor Vehicle Per Mile User Fee pilot program is completely voluntary. The first objective of the program is to test the design, acceptance, implementation, and financial sustainability of a National Motor Vehicle Per Mile user fee.
So instead of paying at the pump for a gallon, you would pay based on the amount of miles you put on your car. And so the provisions in the bill are to allow folks to opt into a pilot program, an experiment, basically, to see how it would work.
Scott Harden with DFA confirms their motor vehicle team has also not received any outreach from the federal government requesting they plan implementation of a mileage-based fee. He goes on to say any move to create a nationwide fee based on mileage would have to be established through new, separate legislation. We would certainly alert Arkansans if we received any indication this is a possibility. So we can verify this claim is false. This pilot program is included in President Biden's infrastructure bill, but it's totally voluntary, so there is not a requirement to pay a mileage fee. The only way to create a nationwide mileage tax would be to pass a new bill.
It's not unusual for current and former presidents to wish supporters a happy holiday season. But an online postcard that shows former President Donald Trump in a tuxedo is raising a lot of eyebrows on social media. The card, which we're blurring because of its explicit nature, was retweeted thousands of times, including by some prominent people who are verified on Twitter. So let's verify. Is the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump real? Our sources are Getty Images, Photo Forensics, and the official Donald Trump merchandise store. The former president is selling holiday merchandise on his website, and his Save America website links to this card, which is not the card that's going viral. No one within the Trump organization has shared the doctored card, and his spokesperson confirmed to PolitiFact it was fake. So, no, the Christmas card claiming to be from former President Trump is not real. Verify traced the original image back to 2019, when former President Trump met Queen Elizabeth. An analysis using photo forensic software showed the former president's tuxedo was edited to make part of the explicit imagery. Many of those who shared the card have since deleted their post. With your Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Welcome back to DBL. Erica, we got some comments.
Yes, it's about the Black and Missing Foundation. Serena says, I'm so glad this organization exists. And Marquita said, this is why I love DBL, for talking about cases like these.
Especially because Natalie, I asked our producers, you know, did something happen to one of her children or loved ones? And no, this is just somebody who empathetically wants to help, and that just goes to show her service.
She's an awesome person, and you have to clarify, because it's hard to believe somebody can be that great. She's that wonderful of a person.
Yes, she is. Go to that website. DBL's new every day. Bye, guys.